October 22nd, 2024. Everyone has been muted preliminarily just so that we can get things started without a lot of confusion and background noise. And so we ask that you would just respect the fact that you will have an opportunity once your case is called to speak and defend your position. Several preliminary matters as we go forward. This is a formal hearing, as if you were in a courtroom. So we expect everyone to come to be appropriately dressed, to be focused, sitting upright, not moving around. Please be dressed appropriately. Men, we're asking you to remove all your headgear when your case is called. Also, no eating, drinking, otherwise engage in other activities while the hearing is in progress. Second, furthermore, these matters are being formally recorded by a court reporter as well as Zoom. But the reporter nor Zoom can clearly make a record if multiple people speaking at one time. So only one person is allowed to speak at a time. Each of you will be given an opportunity to state your position and so that your case is properly heard. And we will make every effort to make sure everyone gets an opportunity to speak. All of you were asked to be here at the same time. We have a very long list of cases. That means that some of you will be waiting here over an hour in order to be heard. So please be patient as if you were in court. Your case is called when the others before you are heard. So we expect you to be present. If you are not present when your case is called, we may dismiss your matter. So we expected you to be part of it, the program. And the final thing is this: if you are in a vehicle, you must be parked in a safe position. If you are moving, we will not hear your case if you are moving. The City of Philadelphia's Law Department will be called upon in a moment to give us a list of all matters that have been resolved and/or where continuances have been requested. Please note, if your address and/or name is called and the resolution is noted as moot or moot complied, you are done for today. The matter's been resolved. You may sign off and go about your day. This is a public hearing, so if you'd like to stay on, please do. If you need clarification as to the distinction between moot and moot complied, please call the administrator's office. Someone there will explain the difference. Please do not break into an existing hearing to ask questions about what's moot or moot complied. I've explained it. Please check with the administrator's office if you have any other questions regarding the administrative proceedings. Thank you very much. We will now begin our hearing, and I will call upon the law department to give us a list of cases that have been resolved. So who's going to represent?
Chairman Woodson, this is Michael Rullo, R-U-L-L-O, on behalf of the city.
Good afternoon, Mr. Rullo. Mr. Rullo, what I did not do before you begin, I want the other members of the board to introduce themselves as well as the other panelists, so I will begin that. Again, I'm Kenneth Woodson, board chair.
Ralph Pincus, board member.
Steve Pettit, board member.
Roger S. Tennant, senior board member.
Ken Washington, board member.
Cortez Patton, board member.
Brian Sherry, board counsel.
Richard Wade, board administrator.
Thank you very much. Okay, Mr. Rullo, please proceed.
Thank you. Beginning with number 3, appeal ending 003 730 701 Adams Avenue, Blagira Incorporated. My understanding is that matter has been withdrawn.
Withdrawn? Okay, thank you.
Turning to number 10, appeal ending 004 546 4625 Mulberry Street, Ira Schwartz. My understanding is that appeal has been withdrawn by the appellant.
Withdrawn. Thank you.
Turning to, excuse me, number 15, appeal ending 004 591 3753 North Bouvier Street, appellant Sylvia Boston, moot.
Moot. Thank you.
Number 16, appeal ending 004 595 2235 North 33rd Street, Tulio Oliveira, moot.
Moot. Thank you.
Just one second. I'm having trouble with my document here. There we go. Number 18, appeal ending 004 601 1935 North Oriana Street, Jose Carpina Jr., moot.
Moot. Thank you.
Number 19, 004 615 5170 Reno Street, Appellant Saul Walker, moot.
Moot. Thank you.
Number 20-004-617, 1343 West Silver Street, John Bryant, moot.
Moot.
Number 21-004-623, 1223 South Bonsall Street, south of Center LP, moot.
Moot.
Number 22-004-625, 8800 Tinicum Boulevard. It looks like Sir Philadelphia LLC, moot.
Moot. Thank you.
Number 24-004-631, 6200 Woodland Avenue, Monique Obus, moot.
Moot. Thank you.
Number 25-004-641, 5225 Irving Street, Kyle Gilliard, moot.
Moot. Thank you.
Number 29-004-647. I'm actually going to read these numbers 29 and 30 together as they are the same property and appellant. So number 29-004-647 and number 30-004-648, both concerning 9908 Bustleton Avenue, both concerning Arena Proskurov. I'm going to spell the last name. So it is a PROSKUROVSKAYA. Both of those are moot.
Moot. Thank you.
Number 32, 004-672, 3901 Conshohocken Avenue, Kiryat Greenbrier LP, moot.
Moot. Thank you.
Number 34-004-675, 3956 North 16th Street, a Moshe Akiba doing business as 3108 Fox LLC, moot.
Moot. Thank you.
Number 35-004-679, 5251 Westford Road, Vertonia Andre, moot.
Thank you.
Number 36-004-690, 8085 Williams Avenue, Ronald Pelez. My understanding is that has been withdrawn by the appellant.
Yes, so noted. Yeah.
Number 38-004-712, 1511 West Stiles Street, Arnold Bryant, moot.
Moot.
Number 40-004-739, 2038 West Spencer Avenue, Aladdin Ali, moot.
Moot.
Number 44-004-767, 7136 State Road, Gladys Williams. My understanding is that has been withdrawn by the appellant.
Yes.
Number 46-004-797, 2131 McGee Avenue, Margaret Hickman. My understanding is that has been withdrawn by the appellant.
We didn't review that one in executive session. Mr. Wade, do you have anything to offer on that? You're muted, sir.
I don't have that. I'd have to look.
Okay.
I don't have it readily available. I'll look.
Okay, let's do this. Let's hold that one. We'll come back to it after Mr. Wade has had a chance to check the record.
Okay, so I can move to number 47 then,
Yes.
004-799, 2483 76 Avenue, Paige Miller, moot.
Moot. Thank you.
Number 49-004-807, 322 East Albinus Street, Ruslin Nakan, moot.
Moot. Thank you.
And then before turning it over to my colleagues, I have some continuances and continuances that need to be read into the record,
Okay.
I believe.
Yes.
Beginning with number 1, appeal ending 001-626, 241 East Armut Street. Appellant is a Theodore Tillman. It's not reflected on the schedule for today, but Mr. Steve Masters is counsel for the appellant here. I believe that he's present today.
Okay.
Yes, I am present.
Okay, Mr. Masters, would you just put your name on the record for this matter, please?
Good afternoon, Mr. Chair, members of the board. Steve Masters. I'm here for the appellant.
Okay. Thank you.
I'm not sure if the board had, we just emailed the board a few, I think it was 20 minutes ago, but this concerns an underlying zoning issue. And my understanding is that a couple weeks ago, the zoning board actually granted the variance. It can take up to 6 weeks to receive that formal notice, which would be what's required for the appellant to comply the violation. I know that this has been continued a few times, that, you know, under the circumstances, the understanding of the parties is that this is essentially will be moot.
Okay, Mr. Masters, do you concur?
Yes, absolutely. All of the variances that we sought were granted, and those are the only issues that are before this board with the code violations.
Okay, so we will note the record for this matter to be continued pending the ZBA decision. Okay,
Thank you so much.
okay. Have a good afternoon.
The second matter I'd like to draw the board's attention to is number 5, appeal ending 003-824, 1408 North 50th Street. The appellant is a Maria Hall, doing business as Milton, what's listed as Milton Pro Auto Collision. I'm not sure if
Okay.
the appellant is present, but my understanding is that they were previously informed that because there is a corporate entity that is the actual business operator, they would need an attorney.
Okay, is anyone present representing 1408 North 50th Street?
Yes. My
Your
name is
name,
Vincent
sir?
Anthony DeFino, and I've just been retained to handle this matter.
So you counsel to this appellant for 1408 North 50th?
Yeah, I'm counsel to the current business owner and the property owner together.
Okay. What is your position today in terms of moving forward?
I'd like to be able to speak with the city solicitor regarding this matter prior to moving forward. I did send my documents in, but I just sent them this morning because I was just retained. So I don't, council
Okay.
probably didn't have an opportunity to review them. And I'd
Okay,
like
let's do
to.
this. Who's just one moment? Who's representing the city in this matter?
That would be me, Chairman. And yeah, I had, as of a short while ago, my understanding is there was no attorney on the case, and I have not seen any of the documents. So perhaps we can chat in the breakout room. But
Okay.
depending on what happens here, I may need to request a continuance. I haven't seen any of these documents. So
Then I would have no objection.
Okay,
with
well, let's
that.
do this. Mr. Rulo, after you've completed this list, then you and Mr. DeFino should go in the breakout room to determine where you go, how you move forward, okay?
okay. Yes.
All right.
So
If I may, Mr. Chairman, do you have
Yes,
a
sir.
witness? Do you have a witness from L&I present, Mr. Rulo?
I believe so. I would need to, I would like to, before, making a conclusion on any of this, I would like to speak with Mr. DeFino, just because I haven't seen those documents.
All
But we
right,
do have a
very
witness
good,
present.
very good.
Okay, thank you. So let's complete the list, and the two of you should go in the breakout.
And then
Thank you.
I'd just like to confirm on number 11-004-558, 4852 North 6th Street. The appellant is a Calvin Simmons. They had requested a continuance request, and the city did not have a witness available. So I just wanted to confirm that that matter was continued.
Yeah, executive session, we did continue that matter.
And then moving to number 17, appeal ending 004-599-176 Diamond Street. The appellant was a Billy Diana. I'm not sure if the appellant is present.
I saw Mr. Diana on the screen.
Mr. Billy Joe Diana is muted. Is there, Mr. Rulo, do you need to speak with him, or we prepared to move forward today?
You hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you now, yes.
Okay.
The city does not have a witness available today, so we would be requesting a continuance, but perhaps after I speak with Mr. DeFino, I could speak with Mr. Diana, as this would be our first opportunity to discuss.
Okay, let's do this then. Mr. Diana, just stand by.
Okay.
The lawyer would like to speak to you in the breakout room after he's conferred with Mr. DeFino. So
Yes.
just give us a moment. Mr. Rulo, one matter that the board would like you to include in your discussion is a matter of standing. The name in terms of the relationship to this property. So if you would do that as well, sir.
That's was going to be one of the questions, yes. So of course
Okay.
we'll address that. And then
Okay.
final, and then I can jump into one of the breakout rooms is number, 45, appeal ending 004-768-459 West Glenwood Avenue. The appellant is Flexible Flyer Studios. Mr. Barrett, counsel for the appellant, indicated that he is ill and unable to appear today, and the city was not going to object to that continuance request. My understanding is that this is the first listing.
Yes, executive session, we did agree to that continuance.
Okay, that does it. I will turn it over to my
Um,
colleagues and just request if Mr. Wade could put me in a breakout room with Mr. DeFino.
I just wanted to confirm that case number 46 was with case number 46, appeal ending 4797 McGee. 4797, 2131 McGee Avenue. That appeal was withdrawn on September 18th.
September 18th. Okay, so we'll note the
Alright.
record that that matter should be noted as withdrawn.
Michael,
Thank you.
you can go to room 4.
Thank you very much.
Okay, as per our standing procedure, any additional counsel for the city have matters they'd like to bring up preliminarily, please note that by using the raise hand sign, and I will call on you in order. At the moment, I don't see anyone with a raised hand sign.
I see about 5, Mr. Chairman.
You do. For some reason, I'm
do.
not seeing them.
So on the
First
Okay.
first
one I
screen,
see is Mr. Bagelman.
Okay, my apologies. For some reason, that is not showing up on my system. Okay. All right, so I'll need to rely on you, Mr. Pincus, to help me. Since you see them and I don't, would you mind calling their names in order, please?
All right, the order as I say, the first one on the left on my screen is Lee Bagelman.
Okay, Mr. Bagelman.
Good afternoon, members of the board. I have a few matters to read into the record. Today, I'll start with case number 4 on the list, appeal number ending 003757. Address is 5631 North 11th Street. Appellant Jonathan Edwards. We've reached an agreement for a city affirm with a 90-day stay of enforcement.
90-day stay. Okay, thank you.
The next one is case number 13 on the list, appeal number ending 004582. Address is 701 North 63rd Street. Appellant is Mamadou Sidibe, doing business as Smosey Realty LLC. Also, the last name on that was Sidibe. We have an agreement for a city affirm with a 60-day stay of enforcement.
60-day stay. Okay. Oh, also, Mr. Bagelman, who's legal counsel?
Legal counsel for case number 13 is Joseph Consul. The appellant emailed the board that information yesterday. I don't believe he's on this call, but I have spoken to him today and have that signed agreement from him.
Okay, thank you.
The next one on my list is case number 23, appeal number ending 004628, address 621 North 64th Street. Appellant Sophonete Makinen. Apologies if I'm mispronouncing that. Last name is spelled Makonnen. The appellant, I believe, is on this call. We emailed the board previously, but we're requesting a joint continuance. This is a similar matter to one of the cases raised by Mr. Rulo, where there has been a decision reached by the Zoning Board of Adjustment that will comply the violations and move the appeal, but we are still waiting for the official decision letter, and so cannot close out the violations until that letter is issued. And so for that reason, we requested a short continuance to allow time for that letter to be issued and the violations complied. And we hope that by next listing, it will be either withdrawn or moot by the time the case is before you next.
Okay, is Mr. Jacob Siegel present? He's listed as legal counsel.
He emailed the board previously. He was initially representing the appellant, but is no longer. And so he emailed the board, I believe, on last Thursday or Friday. But I believe the appellant is here proceeding pro se.
Mr. Makinen, are you present, sir?
Hi, yes, I'm here.
Would you pronounce your last name, please?
It's Makinen.
Makinen? My apologies. Okay,
That's
so you confirm, concur with what the city's Mr. Bagelman has stated in terms of ZBA?
Yes.
Okay, all right, thank you. So we will continue this matter, and hopefully you don't have to come back.
Okay, thank you.
You're welcome. You excused. Mr. Bagelman, anything else?
Just one more. Bring your attention to case number 43 on the list. Appeal number ending 004766 concerning 1416 South 56th Street. Appellant Joshua Cohen. we have an agreement for a city affirm with a 60-day stay of enforcement.
60-day stay. Okay, all right, thank you very much. Okay, Mr. Pincus, I do now have the raised hands on my screen, so I'll resume my responsibilities. Thank you. I think Mr. Thomas Galitza.
Good afternoon, members of the board. I had a few matters to bring to the board's attention. The first that I would like to discuss is number 8 on the board's list. That is HA 2023-003920, 5630 Chew Avenue for a Mr. Shelton Fortune. The city previously requested a continuance via email, I believe, on Friday. However, as it turns out, the city's witness is actually available today.
Okay, is Mr. Fortune present?
I have not seen him listed.
Was Mr.
If I may, was Mr. Fortune notified of the request for a continuance?
Mr. Fortune was notified of the request for the continuance, yes. And the unfortunately, the availability of the city's witness was not communicated quickly enough to notify Mr. Fortune. So if he is not here today, the city has no objections to continuing that continuance request in the interest of fairness to him.
Well, we will note it as continued then.
Thank you.
Okay, thank you.
The second one that I would like to bring to you, the board's attention, is number 26 on today's list. That is HA 2023-004642 at 5705 Dunlap Street with a Mrs. Martha Brame as the appellant. The city and Mrs. Brame reached an agreement. We have agreed to a city affirm with a 120-day stay of enforcement.
120-day stay of enforcement. Thank you.
Thank you. And then the last one that I wanted to bring to the board's attention was number 48 on the list. This is HA 2023-004806, 3208 Turner Street, an appellant by the name of Ruslan Nikon. The appellant is an individual. However, the property is owned by a corporation, an Apple Page LLC. So we were wondering if there had been an attorney registered for this case.
Okay, is anyone present representing the interests of 3208 Turner Street? Anyone present? Ruslan Nikon. Ruslan Nikon. Okay, I tell you, what we will do, Mr. Galitza, we will call this in order, and if the person does not respond, we will take the appropriate action.
Thank you. I appreciate it. That concludes my preliminaries.
Thank you. Okay, Mr. Sean Logue.
Good afternoon, board members. I have a few matters I'd like to call your attention to. The first is appeal is number 27 on our list. Appeal ending in 004645. Address 4251 Richmond Street. Appellant Robert Zagorski. And the city has reached an agreement to resolve this appeal, the terms of which are city affirm with a reduced fine of $150. I am just waiting for the signed agreement from the appellant. I only shared it with him this morning, so I will send that along as soon as I receive it.
Thank you.
The next matter is actually the same appellant, Robert Zagorski. That's case number 39 on our list. Appeal ending 004714. Address 3105 Gall Street. And same deal with this case. We have resolved it by agreement, and I'm just waiting to receive the signed agreement from the appellant, which I will forward as soon as I have it.
Okay, what are the contours of the agreement?
City affirm with a reduced fine of $150.
Okay, thank you very much.
And then lastly, case number 31 on our list, appeal ending in 004649, address 5402 Market Street, appellant Tiffany Perkins. We've resolved this agreement. We've resolved this appeal, and I shared a copy of the agreement with the board this morning. The terms of that are city affirm with a 90-day stay of enforcement.
90-day stay. Okay, thank you very much.
And that concludes my preliminary matters.
Thank you very much. Mrs. Michelle Reinhardt. My apologies. Excuse me,
Thank you.
Ms. Reinhardt. Yes.
Good afternoon, Board. I just have one administrative matter for today. It is number 14 on the list. Appeal ending 4586 regarding 3039 North Broad Street. Appellant Noah Properties LLC. I believe a representative of Noah Properties is on the line as well. They requested a continuance, I believe it was Friday, and was just wondering whether the board has made a decision on that. I believe this is the first listing.
No decision was made in executive session. What's the city's position?
We do not oppose because my understanding is this is a corporate entity without an attorney.
Oh, so no council is present today. That would be, is anyone here representing the interests of Noah Properties at 3039 North Broad Street? Anyone present?
Someone did email me from Noah Properties,
There
indicating,
was someone on.
yeah,
Okay, is this the second
it.
listing, Ms. Reinhardt?
I
This is
believe
the
it's
first listing. Ziv
first
Noah is on the call. I'll send them the prompt to unmute.
Okay.
Yes, Ziv Noah is here.
Sir, would you turn on your camera, please?
Yeah, it didn't let me before. I'm not sure how it's gonna do that.
Oh, Anthony?
It's not letting me do anything.
Okay,
Yeah,
Mr.
Mike.
DeFino, Mr.
I got it,
DeFino,
I
if you
got it.
would mute, yeah.
Yeah, there you go.
Okay. All right, Mr. Noah, your request for continuance, you have not secured an attorney yet, is that the case?
Oh yeah, I wasn't even I didn't get the letter when it was supposed to be, and then when I spoke to Ms. Reinhardt, she informed me I needed to get a lawyer. So I mean I'm here anyway on a call if there's something we can do, but if I need to get a lawyer for this, sure.
Did you receive the violation notice?
The violation notice, yes, I did. I also, I mean, I think the inspector is on the call also. It was supposed to be finished and concluded last year. There's an email back and forth of.
Okay, wait,
I guess-
we don't want,
sorry.
no. We're not gonna do that. But I'm asking you this question. Did you read the violation notice?
Yes,
The violation notice clearly states that you need an attorney if it's corporately owned entity, correct?
okay.
So why didn't you get an attorney before now?
Because I actually had no issues with the. After speaking to the inspector after putting the appeal, I didn't even know this wasn't taken care of.
So you want to withdraw your appeal? Is that it?
I mean, if it was removed and everything's okay, then yes. I mean, the inspector and I are talking. It hasn't been removed yet. The inspector went yesterday to do all that. That's
If-
Okay, sir.
if I
Miss
could.
Miss Reinhardt, yes.
Clarify, there are violations remaining. I have no problem speaking to Mr. Noah in a breakout room after this, but I think that should clarify here.
Okay, let's do this. There's some level of it isn't as clear as I think it should be to Mr. Noah where we are. So, Ms. Reinhardt, if you have an opportunity, just go in the breakout room with Mr. Noah. Obviously, if an attorney is required, we can't proceed today anyway, because he needs legal counsel to represent him. But if he in your discussions decide to withdraw, that's another matter as well. So for the moment, we will list it as continued, pending a breakout room discussion between the two parties. Okay?
Do you need an
Thank you.
inspector in there?
Yes, if Inspector Roisha Johnson could be added as well.
Okay.
Thank you.
Okay. All right. Thank you. Okay. Ms. Reinhardt, do you have anything else?
I think she's in the breakout room.
Okay. All right, Mr. Fernandez.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. I'd like to first turn your attention to appeal number 2 on the list, appeal number ending in 3329. Premises address 4864 Lancaster Avenue, appellant David Williams, doing business as YP2 Tire Shop. This matter was last before this board in, I think, August, and it was continued at that time because the appellant did not have an attorney. I wanted to inquire as to whether the appellant was, 1, here today, and 2, if they had retained an attorney, because I wasn't able to reach them and discuss the matter with them ahead of time.
Okay, an attorney is listed on the sheet as Harry Cook. I don't know if
Okay.
that's the case, not, but is anyone present representing the interest of 4864 Lancaster Avenue, YP2 Tire Shop? Anyone present? Is Mr. Cook present or any other legal counsel or individual present?
Here's
Anyone
David
present?
Williams.
No, this is me right now.
And you are, your name, sir?
David Williams.
And you were representing, you are connected to 4864 Lancaster Avenue?
Yes, yes. I have the attorney. He mixed the dates up again. I just talked to him this morning, and he's supposed to represent me for LNI hearing, which is supposed to be this hearing, and he ended up giving me two different scheduled dates. So I'm supposed to have him at this date today instead of the date from next week.
Okay, what is your attorney's name?
Anesthesia, but hold on, Anastasia, something like that.
Is it Vern Anastasio?
Yeah, Vern Anastasio. Yeah, right.
Someone will need to spell that for the board, please.
I can spell it. It's first name Vernon, Vernon, last name Anastasio, Anastasio. Mr. Harry Cook, who was referenced earlier, I believe had an association with Mr. Anastasio's law firm, so it could still be.
Notice of this hearing was sent to Harry Cook, Anastasio Law, 1315 Walnut Street.
Yeah.
Okay.
On August 29th.
Okay. So, Mr. Williams, your attorney received notice on August about this hearing date.
Right. I wanted to be rescheduled so I can have him do the proper way, get the proper paperwork settled for me.
No. So you're misunderstanding, Mr. Williams. What I'm saying is your attorney should be prepared and here today because he had notice from us.
Gotcha. Oh, that's understand. All right. So,
Mr. Fernandez. Well, wait a minute, Mr. Fernandez. What is your position in this?
I think it can be called in the regular course. I will send a courtesy email to it. It looks like actually it was Vern. You know what? Excuse me. Let me take a moment. This is just coming back to me, and I'm looking at the emails now. I had reached out to Mr. Anastasio, to Vern Anastasio earlier this week, and he said in his response to me specifically that he is retained by Mr. Williams to represent him at the ZBA legalization level, or the ZBA / legalization aspect of this, but is in fact not representing Mr. Williams in the compliance action. The exact language from Mr. Anastasio: we offered to represent Mr. Williams in the compliance action, but he refused our offer. Therefore, we have nothing to do with this week's common pleas hearing. And then I clarified in my next email it was a Board of LNI review hearing, and he acknowledges my response. So our position would be based on that. It doesn't appear that Mr. Williams is represented. He was informed that he needed representation at the last hearing. So I would ask that this matter go forward, and when it's called in the regular course, Mr. Williams lacks representation. I think the appeal needs to be dismissed for failure to comply with the directives of the board, though of course the board may continue to take whatever action it desires.
Okay. We have another major issue here. Is there's a whole matter of timeliness that runs probably 3 months over time. Mr. Williams, you have some serious matters here. So you don't have a lawyer. According to that correspondence, he doesn't represent you. Are you aware of that?
No, that's what I never was aware of that. I thought that when I hired the attorney, that he was representing me for this case and this matter only. I just found out this yesterday and was told that I have to give him an extra amount of money to represent this case today. I was trying to.
Why didn't you do that?
Because I talked to him yesterday. This happened yesterday. He just got contacting me yesterday. I wasn't aware
why
of
didn't
that.
you give him the money yesterday? What I'm getting to is that his correspondence says that you were advised and you refused to do it. So I'm not sure who's
But
right.
never. I was saying I was never. Let me explain to you. I had somebody else working for me under my case, right? That she does all my paperwork for me, and she the one that got the lawyer for me. Contact. I never had an actual conversation with that lawyer myself personally. So I was going to go to a third party that was telling me what I need to do to hire a lawyer for this matter, which I thought I hired him for this matter, but come to find out he wasn't representing me for this matter. He's representing me for something else. So he charged me $2,000. He told me yesterday to bring the money down there to him for $2,000 to retain him. So I was telling him I didn't have the currency on me at this moment. I was going to pay him the next following Friday to represent me for this case. So I didn't even know. I didn't even know.
Mr. Williams, well, you did know because we've sent letters to you and you've been here before. What I'm suggesting to you, this has a lot to do with whether your business is allowed to operate. You know how serious that is?
Yeah,
So
right.
let me talk, let me speak. I would advise you not to go through a third party, but speak to this lawyer directly, because that's how serious this is. And we could decide today that this is all done and you would be over.
Oh, okay, I got you.
This is serious. We can
Got
put
you.
you out of business today. Your
Oh, okay.
lawyer
All right.
should be here today.
Well, I'm gonna get him today then. I got to get this. I'm
So
saying,
I don't know what you need to do, but you need to get your lawyer on retained. If you're not going to have a lawyer, we need
yeah, I
to
will
deal
have him
with it.
today. I will have
And
him
we won't
today.
continue this again. This is the last. I will continue this today. This is the last time this will be continued for this reason.
It
Understood?
will be. You will have a lawyer, sir. I promise you that.
Okay.
Yeah,
Mr. Fernandez, please note for the record, we will continue this as of today to allow Mr. Williams to resolve his issue of legal counsel.
yes, Mr. Chairman, I'll make a note in my file. I believe you were at the very least suggesting it would be marked must be tried. Is that correct?
Yes, sir.
Okay, thank you.
This
Yeah,
is the
that would
third
be
continuance.
request, so.
This is the third continuance. We aren't going to do this again. And the other matter is very serious, Mr. Williams. Please advise your attorney. Did you have an issue of timeliness? So he
Gotcha.
needs to come prepared to argue timeliness before he says anything else.
Timeless. I got you. I got you.
Okay.
Yep.
Thank you.
Yeah. Thank you.
Next on my list of preliminary matters is appeal number 6, appeal number ending 3855, address 5300 Lansdowne Avenue. Appellant is Moe's Towing. This is another appealed cease operations order over use registration violation and some other violations. This was also listed as at that same last hearing as the prior matter. I believe it was in late August, maybe August 27th or around there. And it was continued at that time due to the appellant not having counsel. So I have the same exact request. I would like to know if anyone is here on behalf of Moe's Towing at 5300 Lansdowne, and if so, whether they have an attorney who's been retained who I could speak to in a breakout room prior to the city going forward in this matter.
Okay. Is anyone here present representing Moe's Towing?
Moe's
Anyone
Towing,
present?
Moe's Towing sent in a continuance request at 12:56 this afternoon.
Okay.
Could you
just
put
before
that-
you, before you say anything, Mr. Fernandez, Mr. Wade, whose name was that under?
Hold on one second. I believe Phil just forwarded it to the board.
For the record, Mr. Fernandez, I just need to know who's
absolutely.
corresponding on behalf of Moe's Towing.
George Dutton is the name on the correspondence.
Is that person an attorney?
It doesn't appear, but it doesn't say George Dutton Esquire. No, it does not.
Okay, all right, thank you. Mr. Fernandez?
Mr. Wade, is there any reason given for the continuance request?
No.
Okay.
This is
then-
at 12:59?
I'm sorry, it says, the attorney passed away, which was discussed at the previous continuance,
Right, yes.
and that still waiting for a new attorney.
Okay, yeah, I do recall having discussions in late August wherein the appellant told me that the attorney who filed the appeal on their behalf, I believe named Warren Hamilton, had passed away a few weeks prior. It's been almost 2 months now. There's some evidence of this property moving towards compliance, but I still have to object to the 11th hour continuance request and request that the case be called in the regular course, and if the appellant isn't here, dismissed for failure to appear. Again, of course, if the board takes it upon itself to continue the matter, that is the board's prerogative. But
Okay,
there's no new issues presented in the continuance request. This was the reason for the prior request in August.
Okay. Mr. Wade, what was the time of the continuance request? Electronic?
The email I got was 12. I'm sorry.
While Mr. Wade is looking, Mr. Chairman, the email included an attachment. That attachment appears to be the same document that was submitted with the, as I recall, with the prior continuance request, which was merely the notice from the board of the hearing, and then there's a notice at the bottom, attorney has died. So this would appear to be the same document that was submitted to us when they requested the hearing be continued previously. There's
Okay. Nothing different. Okay.
Yeah,
Mr.
we
Wade, I
don't
just,
know who,
Well,
we don't know who this Mr. Dutton is.
okay.
The document that was attached does include today's date of October 22nd. So
and-
I would say it's not the same document that was attached to the prior continuance
not?
request.
Okay.
It does include today's date, October 22nd.
Wait, before we have further discussion, I just want to get the time from Mr. Wade.
12:56.
12, as well after we began today's hearings?
Yes.
Okay,
And
thank
what
you.
the notice, his continuance request was the notice that was sent prior on the 17th of July for the August hearing with notes that and he's got scribbling on it with today's date.
Requesting a continuance request in writing.
Yes. Well, just say that, yes.
Okay, all right. Thank you.
Just very quickly, some additional information. The appellant in this matter, the business is owned, the property is owned by David Slapp, who I corresponded with on August 27th ahead of the last hearing. He's the one who told me my attorney has passed away. I'm trying to get a new one. Just from some Googling, it appears that George Dutton is an expediter, most likely.
Okay. All righty. We'll call this in regular order and see who responds. Mr. Fernandez.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman.
Okay. Do you have anything else for us?
I would just like to verify that appeal number 50, appeal number ending 4808, address 6614 to 24 Germantown Avenue, appellant Wagon Wheel LLC, represented by Bill McLaughlin. I'd just like to confirm that that was continued. Request was sent to board administration ahead of time by Mr. McLaughlin.
Yes, that matter was continued.
Okay, I have nothing further at this time. Thank you, members of the
Okay.
board. And
Thank
Mr.
you.
Chairman.
All righty. Mr. Rulo.
Yes, this is concerning the matter with Mr. DeFino, which is, pardon, 1408 North 50th Street. I had a chance to speak with him. I'm sorry, did I interrupt board member Pinkett?
No. That's number 5, 1408 North 50th Street. Yes.
I had a chance to discuss the primary argument of the appellant is going to be that it's only a zoning issue here, and that there's a pre-existing non-conforming use. My understanding is that they will also likely be filing an appeal to ZBA. In these circumstances, in my experience, if that's the only argument of an appellant, the board historically has kicked that to the zoning board. And especially if there's going to be a pending application for a variance, which would resolve this. So I'm not sure if the board would like to continue this, or what the procedure would be if it does send this to the zoning board of adjustment.
Okay, why don't we do this then in order to be clear and consistent? Let's continue it with noting the ZBA action, so that will govern the rescheduling. Mr. Pincus? Yes.
Mr. Chairman, this case goes back to 2023.
Oh, it does? Okay.
At least that's what I see here. The appeal number is HA 2023-003-824. Is that correct? So the violations they've had a year to deal with this issue. Is that right, Mr. Rulo?
I was going to request that the appeal be dismissed because they had previously been told that they needed counsel, but Mr. DeFino was retained, my understanding this morning. I did not learn that he was retained on the case until this hearing began. So that is the reason for why we are just learning this now.
Okay, Mr. DeFino, before we determine the outcome of this discussion, what is your position here?
My position, after speaking with counsel, is that we will immediately file a zoning board appeal. There is a history here in this property where, you had air management services monitoring a paint booth for about 50 years. So, I mean, the bottom line is they thought they had the zoning. They thought it was valid zoning. And, but I understand the board, and the board would want us to take it to zoning pretty much. So we're gonna do that immediately. So I'll have, we'll file for our refusal in the next couple days and get the thing moving.
And I think the other practical consideration here is that even if the board did want to consider the argument of this pre-existing non-conforming use, I only received these historical documents in the past 20 minutes and have not had a chance to review them, dig into them with my client. So I mean, practically, even if this was something the board would consider, I would need to request a continuance because I just got these documents.
Okay, so noted for the record. We will continue this matter.
How long?
Thank you very much.
How long?
Work that out with Mr. Rulo based on what he needs after he's reviewed the documents. Mr. DeFino, we want to be fair to the appellant, but at the same time, we want to be expeditious and not let this thing hang on forever.
What case number was that?
That's number 5.
Thank you.
All right, thank you. Anything else, Mr. Rulo?
I would just ask to be put in a breakout room per the board's instruction with Mr. I believe it's Billy Joe Diana.
Okay. Yes. Alrighty. We do have several other matters that the board itself would like to inquire about. So let me do that. I don't see anyone else's hand raised, so let me just quickly run through our list. Okay, actually, yes. Number 48, HA 2023-004806, 3208 Turner Street, Ruslan Niken. Anyone who's representing the city in that matter?
Thomas Guyutza for the city of Philadelphia.
Yeah, Mr. Glitzer, I believe, did we call this earlier?
Yes, I did bring it to the board's attention during my preliminaries.
Okay, so no one has come forward yet, so we will call it quickly in a normal order of things then.
Thank you, Chairman.
Okay, and okay, number 52, 2558 Memphis Street, Haley Moss. That's 4 digits, 4892. Who's representing your city?
Christopher Johnson for the city of Philadelphia.
Okay, Mr. Johnson. Hey, the issue, we have a standing question here. Is Miss Haley Moss present? Miss Haley Moss, 2558 Memphis Street. Anyone present? Okay. Mr. Johnson, have you had conversation with the appellant?
No, I have not.
Okay. Well, we will call this in regular order, and if no one responds, of course, we will dispose of it at that time.
Thank you.
Okay, thank you. All right, Mr. Wade, I believe that's all of our preliminary matters. So where do we go in our next regular hearing case?
I think we should, just to confirm, case number 2 was continued on the record.
Yes, must be
Okay.
tried with the caveat,
Okay.
it must be tried.
So we can call both of our interpreter cases first, if that's,
Okay, that's fine.
Mr. Chair, could we just look at case number 48?
48? What is, okay. What is the issue?
Is that an LLC?
Yes, but that's noted as withdrawn.
Withdrawn, thank you.
Yep. And there's an attorney, well, my apologies, that is not the case. I was calling the wrong matter. Number 48, we just called that a moment ago. We're gonna call it in regular order, and if the person isn't present, we will then take the appropriate action.
Thank you.
Okay. All righty, let's call number 7.
case number 7, hearing appeal ending 3868. 1204 South Clarion Street, Phuc Hing Lao.
Okay, we have an
There's a-
interpreter.
Good afternoon, board members. I believe that's Mike Rulo's case, and he just went into the breakout room with another appellant.
Oh, okay, so we need to await.
Call number 9.
Call number 9. Okay,
Spanish interpreter.
Hello, I'm present.
Okay, if you just, I'll just read the case, you can read it.
Yep.
Case number 9, Hearing appeal ending 4123, 3234 F Street.
Muy bien, para el caso número 9, terminación 4123, en 3234 calle F,
Jose G. Alvarado.
José G. Alvarado,
Okay, thank you, sir. Mr.
present.
Yes, sir, would you, we'll need your actual name, Lionel. And would you raise your right hand so that you may be sworn? Do you swear to faithfully translate from English to Spanish or Spanish to English the proceedings in this matter?
I swear.
All right, thank you. Of course, as we've done in the past, everything that's spoken in English, we need you to repeat in Spanish, and you will be Mr. Alvarado's mouthpiece. So everything he says in Spanish, you will repeat in English. And advise Mr. Alvarado he's not to speak directly in English during these proceedings.
Understood.
Understood.
Señor Alvarado, el día de hoy yo voy a ser su intérprete en esta corte. Entonces, todo lo que se diga en cuanto a este caso en inglés, yo se lo voy a repetir a usted en español. Y usted va a hablar solamente en español y yo voy a repetir todo lo que usted diga en inglés. ¿Entendió?
Sí.
Understood.
Thank you. Who's representing the city in this matter?
¿Quién va a representar a la ciudad en este momento?
Good afternoon. It's Christopher Johnson for the city of Philadelphia.
Muy buenas tardes. Es Christopher Johnson para la ciudad de Filadelfia.
Okay, Mr. Johnson, do you have a witness for today?
Señor Johnson, ¿tiene un testigo en este momento? Sí, sí lo tengo.
The city's witness today is going to be Supervisor Robert Keenan.
El testigo de la ciudad del día de hoy va a ser el supervisor Robert Keenan.
Mr. Keenan, would you raise your right hand so that you may be sworn?
Señor Keenan, puede levantar su mano derecha para que lo podamos juramentar.
Do you swear or affirm the testimony that you give today be the truth so help you God?
Jura de que el testimonio que va a dar el día de hoy es la verdad y toda la verdad. Sí, afirmo.
Okay, thank you. Mr. Jose Alvarado, would you raise your right hand so that you may be sworn?
Señor José Alvarado, levante su mano derecha para juramentarlo.
Do you swear or affirm the testimony you give today be the truth so help you God?
Jura de que el testimonio que va a dar el día de hoy es la verdad, toda la verdad y nada más que la verdad.
Sí.
Yes.
Okay, thank you. Mr. Alvarado, before we begin, you can place your hand down.
Puede bajar su mano, señor Alvarado.
Before we proceed, I just need to understand your legal relationship to 3234 F Street.
Muy bien, señor Alvarado, antes de continuar, solo necesito entender su relación legal con 3234 calle F.
Soy el dueño.
I am the owner.
Okay. Is there any other name on the deed other than yours?
¿Aparece otro nombre en el documento además del suyo?
No.
No.
All right, thank you. All right, Mr. Johnson, let's proceed.
Señor Johnson, procedamos.
Thank you. As a preliminary matter, I'm just going to briefly describe the matter before the board. The property in question, 3234 F Street, was cited for a violation.
Okay, Mr. Johnson, I just asked, of course, is if you can allow the interpreter to catch up with you.
Muy bien. Como manera de forma preliminar, solamente voy a describir brevemente el asunto ante la Junta. Y es que la propiedad en cuestión, la 3234 calle F, fue citada por una violación.
And if I may, I'm going to share the screen briefly.
¿Y quiero compartir la pantalla brevemente?
Yes.
Sí.
And I've put on screen a copy of the appeal petition showing the violation, new entryway in front of the property to go to the basement without a zoning permit or construction permit.
Muy bien, entonces quiero mostrar acá, puse en la pantalla, que es una copia de la apelación, una petición que muestra una entrada nueva en la frente de la propiedad para bajar hasta el sótano sin permiso de zonificación.
And on the appeal petition, Senor Alvarado writes, 4 months ago, licensed contractor was paid $2,500 to get the building permit, waiting for him.
Muy bien, entonces, y aquí el señor Alvarado escribió en la petición de apelación, el señor Alvarado escribió hace 4 meses se contrató a un contratista con licencia, certificado, por $2,500 para conseguir el permiso de construcción y se sigue esperando.
So I would say, just as a preliminary matter, it seems as if the appeal petition has admitted that there was a contractor working and they had not obtained a permit.
Entonces, solo de manera preliminar, solo quería señalar de que el solicitante admitió de que sí había un contratista trabajando, pero que no se lo habían dado el permiso todavía.
And if the board prefers, I can go and I can call Robert Keenan to testify about the violation.
Y si la Junta lo prefiere, puedo llamar al supervisor Robert Keenan.
Yes, for the sake of the record, Mr. Johnson, you should probably have Mr. Keenan testify as to the LNI's role in this and keep it, of course, as short and succinct as we can.
Muy bien. Muy bien, sí, claro que si te por el récord, sí sería bueno que tenga el señor Robert Keenan para poder testificar y por favor manténgalo corto y conciso.
The city calls Robert Keenan.
Que la ciudad llama a Robert Keenan.
First violation.
Wait, Mr. Keenan, I'm going to ask a series of questions and I just ask you to respond and allow the interpreter to interpret for the record.
Muy bien, señor Keenan, solamente le voy a pedir que antes que continuar le voy a hacer una serie de preguntas y solamente usted va a responder y permita al intérprete contestar.
Mr. Keenan, can you please state for the record what your position with the department is?
¿Puede, por favor, señor Keenan, establecer para el récord cuál es su posición con el departamento?
I am the supervisor for the Construction Compliance Division of Construction Inspection Unit.
Soy el supervisor de cumplimiento para la división de construcción, para la unidad de construcción y cumplimiento.
You supervise the building inspectors for construction compliance?
That is
¿Usted
correct.
supervisa a los inspectores de construcción? Sí, es correcto.
Have you had a chance to review the department's records with regard to 3234 F Street?
¿Usted ha tenido la oportunidad de revisar los expedientes del departamento con respecto a 3234 calle F? Sí, sí lo he hecho.
At this time, with the board's permission, I would like to share the screen once more.
Yes.
Quiero, con el permiso de la Junta, compartir la pantalla de nuevo.
I have a packet of documents that I've marked as City Exhibit C1, and I'm currently showing page 1.
Muy bien, tengo un paquete de documentos que está clasificado como exhibición para la ciudad C1 y estoy mostrando la página número 1.
Supervisor Keenan, can you tell us what this record is?
Supervisor Keenan, ¿nos puede decir qué es este documento?
This is the license and inspections violation notice to correct.
Ese es el documento de licencia y de inspección para orden para corregir.
And what was the date that the inspection occurred that resulted in this violation notice?
¿Y cuál es la fecha en cual ocurrió esta inspección, en la cual resultó esa inspección?
On 1 January 27th, 2023, the department found the following conditions.
Muy bien. Entonces, en enero 27 de 2023, el departamento encontró las siguientes condiciones.
Please go on.
Continúe.
Those conditions consisted of a new entryway where a zoning permit would be required.
Las condiciones que se encontraron fueron en una entrada que necesitaba un permiso de zonificación
and a structural repair of the porch and entryway, which would require a plan and a permit of a building permit for both.
y también una reparación de la estructura en la parte del porch y de la entrada que requería un permiso de construcción y planeación para ambos.
Thank you. I'm gonna scroll down to the next document, which is at page 3. Is this another copy of the same notice?
Ok, gracias. Voy a bajar hasta abajo al siguiente documento, que es la página 3. ¿Esta es una copia del mismo documento?
That is the top portion, yes, of the new correct.
And there's just, was it sent to another address of Mr. Alvarado?
Ok, y ese sí, esa es una copia, sí, la parte superior de una copia de eso. ¿Y esto fue enviado a otra dirección del señor Alvarado?
See, this was sent to 6527 Souter Street.
Sí, de hecho esto se fue enviado al 6527 calle Sauter.
Thank you. I'm now gonna ask you, the supervisor, to tell us what is the document that's marked page 5.
Ahora quiero que por favor el supervisor nos diga cuál es el documento marcado en la página número 5.
At the time of investigation, a stop work order was also issued, and it explains what is required, and all work must stop at the time.
Muy bien, sí, entonces que al momento que se presentó esto de la investigación, se le dio una orden de detener las obras, cualquier obra, y se establecen los requerimientos, lo que se necesita, pero de que tiene que detener todo tipo de construcción.
And if you can, could you tell us what date that was posted?
Y si puede, ¿nos puede decir qué fecha esto fue posteado?
1/27/23.
1/27/23.
And now at page 6, what is the document at page 6?
Y en la página 6, ¿cuál es el documento de la página 6?
That's a copy of the stop work order.
Esa es una copia de la orden de detenerse.
Was that a photograph taken prior to the posting?
Esta fotografía fue, fue tomada antes de postearlo. Sí.
I'm going to ask you to identify what is the photograph that I'm showing now at page 7.
Ahora quiero que por favor identifique qué es lo que estoy mostrando, aquí la fotografía que estoy mostrando acá en la página 7.
What we're showing here is the underneath portion of the new joist structures of the porch, and the upper, the new header that was installed, and the tie-in to the party wall side of the 2x6 material that was used, as well as the new anchoring system that was initiated by the construction, and some of the joist hangers in the rear. And
Muy
then
bien. Entonces, lo que estamos mostrando acá, estamos mostrando la nueva construcción, la nueva estructura que está sobre el porche y el cabezal nuevo, la parte frontal nueva y también el sistema de cohesión o de amarre, también que se amarra a la pared, al igual que el material de 2x6, que es como sistema de anclaje, que se inició con la compañía constructora y también otros materiales colgantes que están en la parte de atrás.
And the second portion that's being shown is on the bottom section. Underneath the is a new doorway that was installed. From
En
a
la
window
segunda
well.
porción que estamos viendo acá es en la parte de abajo. Estamos viendo una puerta nueva que se instaló.
And Supervisor Keenan, are those the type of work that would require both the zoning and building permits?
Y supervisor Keenan, ¿esos son trabajos que requerirían tanto un permiso de zonificación como un permiso de construcción?
That is correct.
Es correcto.
I'm going to scroll now. And one last question on that photograph. What was the date that was taken?
Y una última pregunta en esa
That
fotografía.
was,
¿Cuándo es la fecha que se tomó eso?
that also was taken on January 27th, 2023.
Eso también fue tomado en enero 27 de 2023.
I'm now going to scroll to page 8. What is the photograph of page 8? What does that show?
Muy bien, ahora voy a
that-
bajar a la página 8. ¿Qué es lo que muestra esa fotografía?
That shows a pan of cement as well as the wall that was being constructed on either side of the doorway. Also, it's showing the well area of the doorway.
Muy bien, si eso muestra una pana de cemento, al igual que la construcción de ambos lados de la puerta, también muestra la parte frontal de construcción de frente de la puerta.
And I'm now showing what's marked page 9 within the exhibit. What is the document at page 9 show?
Y también ahora estoy mostrando lo que está marcado como página 9. ¿Qué es lo que está mostrándose en el documento de la página 9? ¿Qué está mostrando acá?
That's also showing the front door of 34 F Street.
And that was taken during the same inspection?
That
Y
was, yes.
Eso está mostrando la puerta frontal de la dirección de 3234 calle F. ¿Y esto fue mostrado fue tomado durante la misma inspección? Sí, fue tomado durante la misma inspección.
And finally, I'm showing now what's marked as page 10. Could you please describe what page 10 shows?
Y también estoy mostrando lo que está en la página 10. ¿Puede describirme lo que muestra la página 10, por favor?
That shows the header connection on the porch and under the roof membrane underneath the porch. It also shows some of the material that was used, be that 2x4s at the time of where the joist hangers tie into the main structure of the house.
2x6.
Muy bien. Entonces, sí, eso lo que está mostrando ahí es que eso muestra la nueva parte frontal y lo que está conectado al porch y el techo y junto con las membranas que están en la parte de abajo del porch, al igual que muestra un material que es el 2x4 o 2x6 y que está uniendo o está haciendo cohesión con la estructura principal de la casa.
And was that from the same inspection on January 27th?
Y eso fue con en la misma inspección que fue realizada en enero 27.
Yes, it is.
Sí, sí es.
How about page 11? What does page 11 show?
¿Y qué muestra página 11?
It shows the same items here at the top, or the 2x4s down below, or the 2x6s possibly. And then it shows in the tie-ins here. And it also shows a new window installed. It also shows how they are tied in or maybe even sistered to existing joists that were here as well.
Sí, eso es lo que muestra ahí también los mismos artículos, los mismos ítems que mencionamos anteriormente, los de 2x4 o 2x6. También muestra una nueva ventana que se instaló que posiblemente está ligándose, digamos, a la estructura ya existente acá también.
And this also shows how it's tied in to the rear wall and the underside. I can't verify this if it's fire rated plywood or not.
Y también muestra que también cómo está en cohesión con la pared trasera en la parte inferior, pero no, en la parte inferior no puedo determinar si eso es plywood o no.
And Supervisor Keenan, are these structural elements that support the upper floors and roof above the porch?
Interpreter, could you repeat that? They said support upper floors?
Yeah, are these elements that he's describing, are they structural in nature? Do they support the weight of the upper portions of the structure and the roof?
Thank you. Muy bien, supervisor Keenan, esas estructuras son estructurales, es decir, dan apoyo a los pisos de arriba y el techo.
These would support snow loads.
Pero solamente
Sí.
sale hasta aquí.
Sí, estos darían apoyo a las cargas de nieve, inclusive.
And is the picture marked at number 12, is that another picture taken at a later inspection?
Y las fotografías que están acá marcadas en la página número 12, ¿eso es una fotografía tomada después?
Pasaron
Yes,
ahí.
in May of 2023.
Sí, en mayo del 2023.
And in that photograph, is the stop work order still posted on the building?
Y en esa
It is.
fotografía siempre está posteada la orden de detención de obras. Sí, sí lo está.
And the final document in the exhibit packet at page 13, what is this document?
Y este documento, el final, el último documento, página 13, ¿qué es este documento?
This is what we call our final violation notice.
Esto es lo que nosotros llamamos la notificación final de violación.
I'm going to stop sharing the documents at this time. Mr. Keenan, could you tell us, are these all records of the department that are kept as a part of the department's normal business practices?
Ok,
They are.
señor Keenan, voy a dejar de compartir en ese momento. Señor Keenan, todos estos registros son registros que se mantienen en el departamento de manera regular.
Yes, they are.
Sí, sí lo son.
Have you had a chance to review the permit history for this address?
¿Ya he tenido la oportunidad para revisar el historial del permiso para esta dirección?
I have.
Sí, sí lo he hecho.
Could you tell us, as we sit here, have any of the required permits been obtained by the owner?
Y mientras estamos sentados acá, ¿cualquiera de los permisos requeridos han sido obtenidos?
Not to date.
No a la fecha.
Okay.
I'm going to ask that C1 be admitted to the record at this time.
Voy a pedir que el C1 sea admitido al registro.
So admitted.
Ha sido admitido.
I have nothing further.
No tengo nada más.
Okay, Mr. Alvarado, do you have any questions for Mr. Keenan based on his testimony?
Señor Alvarado, ¿usted tiene alguna pregunta para el señor Keenan basándonos en el testimonio de él?
No.
No.
Thank you. Mr. Johnson, do you have any additional witnesses?
Señor Johnson, ¿tiene un testigo adicional?
No, sir. Respectfully to the board, the city rests at this time. I would reserve the witness for possible rebuttal if necessary.
No, señor, respetuosamente a la Junta, voy a reservarme el derecho del testigo hasta para una posible refutación.
Mr. Alvarado, this is your opportunity now to tell us your understanding of the facts in this matter.
Señor Alvarado, esta es su oportunidad en este momento para que usted exprese su entendimiento de los hechos en este asunto.
Lo que tú entiendes que tienes el permiso de zoning, que no necesitas el permiso. Aquí nos han dicho que no necesitamos el permiso de zoning.
Here it's been said that we don't need the zoning permission.
I'm not sure what he's attempting to show us. What is that?
¿Qué es eso? No estoy seguro qué es lo que nos está tratando de mostrar.
Que no necesitamos permiso de zoning.
That we don't need a zoning permit.
Okay, we can't read that. Did you submit that as far as your? Wait a minute. This other person can't be in the picture. We can't have two people. Only
Okay.
one person, Mr.
Okay.
Alvarado.
Ok, señor Alvarado, mire, no podemos leer eso, pero esta otra persona no puede estar frente a
Sí,
cámara.
ya le entiendo.
Solamente una persona. I understand.
Okay, Mr. Alvarado, the document that you had, did you submit that as with your appeal with your documents?
Señor Alvarado, El documento que usted tiene, que esté presentando ahí, ¿lo ingresó en su apelación?
Sí,
Yes.
Okay. Now, give us the title of the document that you put up to the screen. What is it called?
Ok, denos el título del documento que nos mostró. ¿Cómo se llama?
zoning permit.
Zoning permit.
Okay. Is it say granted or denied?
Dice que está admitido o está rechazado.
Not an approval.
Okay.
Not in approval.
Okay, thank you. Mr. Alvarado, did you obtain building permits for the work that's been done?
Señor Alvarado, ¿usted obtuvo permisos de construcción para el trabajo que se ha hecho?
No, eso va a ser lo próximo que
No,
vamos
that
a
would be
hacer.
the next step.
But the work has been completed.
Pero el trabajo ya está completado.
Sí.
Yes.
Okay. Just one matter, sir. Whoever's sitting next to you, they can't be giving you information or talking to you while you testify.
Señor, solo un asunto más. La persona, quien sea que esté la persona a la par suyo, no puede estar dando la información, no puede estar pasando la información mientras usted está testificando.
Entiendo bien.
I understand.
So, Mr. Alvarado, explain why you did the work without permits.
Señor Alvarado, explíquenos por qué hizo el trabajo sin los debidos permisos.
Yo no sabía que se necesitaba permiso.
I didn't know that I needed permits.
Okay. All right. Did you hire a licensed contractor?
Señor, ¿usted contrató a un contratista certificado?
Sí.
Yes.
Someone
Okay.
is talking in the background,
Someone,
Mr.
yeah,
Chair.
just for a moment. Someone's
Permítanos.
should be unmuted, but they're talking in the background on the phone. So whoever you are, please mute your screen. Okay, Mr. Alvarado, anything else you want to share with us before we proceed?
Señor Alvarado, ¿algo más que quiera compartir con nosotros antes de continuar?
Yo le pagué al contratista a 2.500 pensando que él podía conseguirme los permisos más fácil, pero se me llevó mi dinero y no consiguió nada.
Okay, so I paid the contractor $2,500 thinking that he could get me the permits easier, but he just took the money and he didn't get anything.
Is that the same contractor who did the work?
¿Ese es el mismo contratista que hizo los trabajos?
Sí.
Yes.
Okay, thank you.
Gracias.
Does anyone else have any questions of Mr. Alvarado?
¿Alguien más tiene preguntas para el señor Alvarado?
I have a question.
Yo tengo pregunta.
Mr. Alvarado,
Señor
why
Alvarado,
why were you building a door into the basement?
Porque,
¿por qué estaba construyendo una puerta al sótano?
porque yo salgo a trabajar con muchas herramientas y es más fácil llevarlas al basement que meterlas en la sala.
Because I go to work with a lot of tools and it's easier to carry them directly to the basement instead of going through the living room.
Mr. Alvarado, your profession, do you work in the construction industry?
Yes.
Y señor Alvarado, ¿usted trabaja en el área de construcción?
Sí, yo soy albañil.
Yes, I'm a handyman.
So you're familiar with the requirements of building permits?
Entonces, ¿usted está familiarizado con los permisos de construcción?
Sí.
Yes.
Okay, thank you.
Muy bien, gracias.
Anyone else have any questions?
¿Alguien más? ¿Preguntas?
Can we have a brief executive session?
¿Podemos tener una reunión ejecutiva breve?
Yes, we'll go. It's now 2:11. We will do two things. We will go off the record for about 10 minutes, including a conference break. Thank you. Just want to make sure. Thank you. Is the appellant, Mr. Alvarado, present?
Señor Alvarado,
Yes.
¿está presente? Sí, ahí está.
Okay, thank you. And Mr. Christopher Johnson, thank you.
Señor Christopher Johnson.
Mr. Alvarado, do you have any final comments you'd like to make before we vote on your case?
Señor Alvarado, ¿tiene algún comentario final antes de que votemos en su caso?
Sí, primeramente quiero pedir perdón porque no aclaré bien las cosas. El trabajo lo hice yo. Al contratista lo contraté para que me buscara el building permiso, los permisos.
Mr. Chairman, I don't think we have a quorum.
Oh, we
Ok.
don't,
Pero-
just one moment, just one moment. Okay, thank you. Let's see, myself. Yes, now we do now. Yep, everybody's back. Okay, thank you.
All
But
right.
just before we proceed, though, my apologies again. Mr. Pincus, who will want to vote in this matter, has not returned yet. So just everyone be patient for a moment. Would like to have him present. Mr. Leonel, please share that.
Yes. Muy bien, señor, todavía no están todos los miembros de la Junta, entonces vamos a esperar un momentito, lo siento mucho, para que puedan estar todos los presentes para votar. ¿Está bien?
Está bien, pero yo quiero
Yes.
hablar
Permítame,
algo todavía.
permítame.
Okay. Mr. Pincus is now with us. Mr. Washington will not be back for the balance of this hearing, so we will proceed now.
Muy bien, el señor Pincus ya regresó, el otro miembro no va a estar presente, pero ya podemos proceder. Este es el intérprete, solo voy a interpretar lo que me viene diciendo hasta el momento. This is the interpreter. I'm going to interpret what he previously said.
Thank you.
Okay, so yes. First of all, I want to say I'm sorry because I did not make things very clearly. I was the one that did the construction. I hired the contractor so he could get the building permits.
Okay, thank you.
Gracias.
And Mr. Alvarado, are you a licensed contractor?
Y señor Alvarado, ¿usted es un contratista certificado?
No, yo solamente soy el dueño de la casa.
No, I'm just the owner of the house.
Okay. Do you reside in that property?
Señor, ¿usted reside en esa propiedad?
Sí.
Yes.
Okay, thank you. All right, thank you very much. Mr. Johnson, do you have any final argument before we vote?
Señor Johnson,
Briefly.
¿tiene algún comentario antes de continuar?
Bueno, yo aquí tengo el número de Street Department permiso. Lo tengo aquí el número que es SR 2024-025-493. Este es el Street Department approval. Y después tengo el otro de zoning, que dicen que no necesito ningún zoning permiso. Y el número es ZP 2024-0091-76.
Ok, permítame.
Y lo próximo.
Permítame, caballero, permítame.
Sí, sí, sí.
Okay, so I have the street number, the department permit, and the number is SR 2024-025-493, and I have the street apartment approval, and this is the street apartment approval, and after that I have the document that says that I don't need a zoning permit. This one is number Z as in zebra, P as in Peter, 2024-009176.
Thank you.
Gracias.
Mr. Johnson, do you have any final comments?
Señor Johnson, ¿tiene comentarios finales?
Yes, with respect to the case and the evidence that was heard by the board, the department's position here is that we clearly showed that the work was done without permits and that the evidence all points to affirming the violation notice as written.
Muy bien, sí. Con respecto al caso y con la evidencia presentada a la Junta, es la posición del departamento que demuestra de que el trabajo fue hecho sin los debidos permisos y aún con la notificación de detener.
Thank you.
Gracias.
We will poll the board
I have a
on.
question.
Oh.
I have a question. Mr. Alvarado, what is the date of those, that approval notice that you just read to us?
Señor Alvarado, tengo una pregunta. ¿Cuál es la fecha de esas notificaciones de aprobación que tiene ahí?
8/30/2024.
8/30/2024.
You.
Gracias.
Do you understand that those approvals are over a year after you were first given a notice that you were in violation?
¿Usted entiende, señor, de que esas notificaciones, esas aprobaciones son un año después de que se le dio la notificación de la violación?
Sí,
That's a yes or no question.
Esa es una pregunta, ¿sí o no?
yes.
Yes.
Do you also understand that the work that was done on your house that you did was done by an unlicensed contractor?
Y también entiende de que el trabajo que se hizo en su casa, que usted mismo hizo, fue hecho por un contratista no certificado.
Sí, entiendo.
I understand.
Thank you.
Gracias.
Okay, we will now poll the board regarding
Ok, muy bien, vamos ahora a encuestar a la Junta.
HA-2023-004123.
Ahora, con respecto al caso HA-2023-004-123.
3234 F Street.
La dirección de 3234 calle F.
Jose G. Alvarado.
José G. Alvarado.
City affirmed.
Se afirma por la ciudad. Se afirma por la ciudad.
City affirmed.
Afirmado por la ciudad.
City affirmed.
Afirmado por la ciudad.
City affirmed.
Afirmado por la ciudad.
Thank you. Mr. Alvarado, the vote is unanimous. City affirmed.
Señor Alvarado, la votación es unánime de afirmado por la ciudad.
That means that you've lost your appeal.
Eso significa que usted perdió su apelación.
Now you may appeal our decision.
Ahora, usted puede apelar nuestra decisión.
If you need information as to how you should do that, please call the office administrator.
Si necesita información de cómo se tiene que hacer eso, por favor llame al administrador de la oficina.
Yeah, the telephone number will be on the decision letter that you will receive in the mail.
El número telefónico va a aparecer en la carta de la decisión que se tomó, que usted va a recibir por correo.
Thank you very much. The witnesses are excused.
Muchas gracias. Están excusados.
Okay. Mr. Interpreter, thank you for your service.
It's a pleasure, Your Honor. Would you require me for case ending in 3868?
Well, I believe that case requires a Cantonese interpreter. Are you able to do Cantonese?
No, I do not know Cantonese.
Okay.
Thank
Have
you
a good
very much.
afternoon.
Have a
Okay.
beautiful day. Bye.
All right. Okay, Mr. Wade, where are we? I think Mr. Rulo had his hands up, so let's address Mr. Rulo, then we'll go to that next case. Mr. Rulo?
Yes, I had a chance to speak with Mr. Diana concerning number 17, appeal ending 004-599-176 Diamond Street. Based on those discussions, Mr. Diana has indicated to me that he wishes to obtain counsel. And on top of that, the property is going to need a reinspection at this stage. I think that would be helpful for the board and everyone in terms of how to proceed here.
Okay, now what's the standing? What is Mr. Diana's relationship to this property?
Yes, excuse me, let me clarify that as well. So there is a restaurant operating at the property. I have Mr. Diana has clarified that that is just a doing business as name. It is a sole proprietorship. He is the owner of it. I have checked the corporate records and do not see any corporate entity bearing that name. So it does not appear that that is an issue. And at that stage, since he is the business is occupying property, the city would not have an objection on standing.
So, okay, then we need just a matter of continuance that he plans to secure legal counsel.
That is my understanding. I believe he is still present, and I think probably it'd behoove us to just have him confirm that on the record.
Okay, Billy Diana, sir, and give us your actual name. The individual representing the interests of 176 West Diamond Street.
I see that he's still present here on the Zoom.
He's not responding.
You can hear me now?
Yes, I can hear you now.
Okay,
Sir,
I'm
would you
sorry.
give us your actual name, please?
Billy Joe Diana, BILLYJOE, last name Diana, DIANA.
Okay, did the representations put forth by Mr. Rulo, is that your understanding of where we are?
Yes. Your Honor.
Okay, so we will continue this so that you can secure legal counsel and reschedule as quickly as possible.
Yes, Your Honor.
Okay, thank you very much.
Thank
Thank
you.
you, Mr. Rulo.
You're welcome.
Thank you.
Okay, you're welcome. Have a good day, sir.
Thank you.
Okay, Mr. Wade, what do we do next?
7, hearing appeal ending 3868, 1204 South Clarion Street, Uk Hing Lao.
Okay, we have a Cantonese interpreter.
We should.
So I guess now you just gotta
I
wait.
believe Katie Wang is.
I don't see anyone. The
Yes,
Cantonese
this is the
interpreter, please.
Cantonese interpreter. Yeah, I'm here.
Okay, would you mind, please turn on your video, please?
Okay, sure, no problem. Oh, can you see me?
Just need you to adjust it so we can see your full face.
Sure.
Okay. What I will need to do is swear you in if after I've done that, going forward, everything that's said in English, I'd like you to repeat in Cantonese. And also you will be the voice of the appellant. Anything
Okay,
said in
sure.
Cantonese, you will repeat in English.
Okay, sure, no problem.
Okay. Please raise your right hand. Do you swear or affirm that you will faithfully translate between English and Cantonese during the proceedings for 1204 South Clarion Street?
Yes.
Okay, thank you. You can place your hand down. And okay, from this point forward, please, of course, follow it, the English and repeat in Cantonese. Mr. Wade, would you read the matter in, please? Ms. Wang, I need you to it's now your turn. Everything said in English, you need to repeat in Cantonese.
Yeah, sure. 你嗰個先生你喺咪度啊？請問你喺咪個會議入邊啊？
Case number 7, hearing appeal ending 3868, 1204 South Clarion Street.
你喺咪現場啊？你應該要入嚟噶咯喎。
我係咯。
哦，你喺呢度。Okay, yeah, here she is. Yeah, this is she. Yeah.
Uk Hing Lao.
You need to call the name out.
你可唔可以講你嘅名啊？
福興咯。
Okay.
福興浪。
Which lawyer is representing the city?
That would be Michael Rulo, RULLO, on behalf of the city.
Miss Wang, everything that's said in English, you
Yeah,
need to
邊一
repeat
個
in
係個
Cantonese.
律？Okay, yeah，嗰個律師咧係代表嘅係頭先佢講個律師嚇，代表個城市咧嚟同你對質嘅。
Okay. Mr. Rulo, do you have a witness for today?
你今日有冇一個證人咧？
I do. It's Inspector Audrey Smith.
嗰個審查官嚇，叫嗰個頭先講嗰個人個名。
Inspector Smith, would you make yourself known and so that you may be sworn?
嗰個檢察官 Smith 係要顯明佢個樣噶啦。
Okay, Mr. Rulo, I don't see Inspector Smith.
我見唔到嗰個檢察官嚇。
我係一個人嚟咋。
Oh, I came here by myself.
Oh, okay, ma'am. You will be called on in turn, okay? Just for a moment. We're waiting to
你
get
打
the
一陣嚇。
inspector.
而家唔係你講嘢嘅時候。
Mr. Rulo, do you have a witness?
I do. Is it?
揾緊個證人啊，個證人唔知喺邊度而家。
It is Inspector Audrey Smith. I'm trying to locate them right now. I
我而
apologize.
家揾緊嗰個檢察官嗰個 Smith 先生嚇。
Perhaps if we could put this matter on hold for a brief moment, I will give Miss Smith, Inspector Smith, a call to.
Okay.
或
Let's
者
do
我等一
this.
陣，我打電話俾佢先嚇。
Yeah, Ms. Lau, we are having difficulty locating our witness. So if you be so patient with us, allows, we're gonna put this on hold just for a moment and come back to you after we locate the witness, okay?
嚇，我哋揾到嗰個證人先，跟住再翻嚟你嘅案件，所以你等一陣先嚇。
Okay, thank you. Mr. Wade, is there another matter we can call in the interim while Mr. Rulo is trying to locate his witness?
We can recall case number 6, hearing appeal ending 3855, 5300 Lansdowne Ave, Moss Towing.
Okay. Who's representing the city?
Will Fernandez for the city of Philadelphia.
Okay. Is anyone present representing the interests of Moss Towing? Okay, there's been no response to the call. Mr. Wade, can you confirm service, please?
This appeal was made by counsel for Warren Hamilton. Mr. Hamilton was deceased at the prior listing. Board's administration reached out to the appellant and was given the address of 400 Sunny Isles Boulevard, Unit 519, Sunny Isles, Florida. Notice of this hearing was sent to 400 Sunny Isles Boulevard, Unit 519 on August 29th.
Thank you. Mr. Fernandez, what is your pleasure?
Mr. Chairman and members of the board, hearing no response to the call of this case, and given that this matter was already continued for the appellant to obtain new counsel just 1 week shy of 2 months ago, the city's request would be that this matter be dismissed for appellant's failure to appear.
Okay, and just for the record, we will note that the appellant did submit a request at 5:56 p.m. today, well after today's hearings began, requesting an additional continuance. That request is denied, and therefore we call this matter in regular order. What time
Mr.
do
Chair?
we have? Yes.
Excuse me. You said 5:56 for the record. It was 12:56.
12:56. My apologies. Please correct the record. It's 12:56 p.m. today. Thank you very much. Okay, Mr. Pincus, what time do you have?
2:41 p.m.
2:41 p.m. Okay, thank you. We will poll the board regarding HA-2023-003856, 5300 Lansdowne Avenue, Mo's Towing, city affirmed non-appearance.
City affirmed for non-appearance.
City affirmed non-appearance.
City affirmed for non-appearance.
City affirmed non-appearance.
Thank you very much. Okay, Mr. Wade, any other matter we can go to until Mr. Rulo is ready for us?
Case number 12, hearing appeal ending 4578, 5936 Alma Street.
Okay, thank you.
It's Christopher Johnson for the city of Philadelphia.
Thank you. Okay, Ermance Dessalines. I'm not sure if I'm pronouncing that correctly. Is anyone present representing the interests of 5938 Alma Street? Anyone present? Mr. Johnson, have you spoken to anyone regarding this matter?
No, I have not.
Okay. All righty. Mr. Wade, would you confirm service, please?
Hermes Dessalines listed 5936 Alma as their mailing address. Notice of this hearing was sent to 5936 Alma on August 29th.
Okay, thank you. Mr. Johnson, what's your preference?
Hearing no response to the call of the case, the city's request is that it be marked as city affirmed for failure to appear.
Okay, thank you. The time, Mr. Pincus?
2:42 p.m.
2:42 p.m. Thank you. We will poll the board on HA-2023-004578, 5938 Alma Street, Ermance Dessalines, Dessalines, city affirmed, non-appearance.
City affirmed for non-appearance.
City affirmed non-appearance.
City affirmed for non-appearance.
City affirmed non-appearance.
Thank you very much. That matter is resolved. Mr. Wade?
Case number 14, I just want to confirm that was previously continued. I know Ms. Reinhardt went in a breakout room. I don't know if there was any resolution or we're marking that continued.
Well, we continued pending her discussion during the breakout room. So if she's available, let's call her back.
Good afternoon.
Yes. Ms. Reinhardt.
There's no update. The case remains uncomplied, and to my knowledge, the appellant is not withdrawing the petition.
Okay, and so the request for continuance is currently the current status?
Yeah, my understanding is that it remains. I know that the appellant was sticking around for a while, but I'm not sure that he has stayed on this long.
Okay, all righty. So as previously noted, we will note it as continued.
Thank you.
I believe, Mr. Chairman, that the appellant needs to get counsel as well.
Yes, that was noted in our previous discussion. And so we're referencing HA 2023-004586, and that's 3039 North Broad Street, Noah Properties LLC. Let's continue. Thank you. Okay, Mr. Wade.
Case number 28. Hearing appeal ending 4646, 2718 East Ontario, Christine Swinsky.
Swinsky. Okay. Who's representing the city?
Good afternoon, Michelle Reinhardt for the city of Philadelphia.
Good afternoon, Ms. Reinhardt. Is anyone present representing 2718 East Ontario Street? Christine Swinsky. Anyone present?
I believe that she called in. She appears to be on a phone line, so may not be able to unmute herself.
I got it.
Okay.
Good afternoon. This is Christine Swinsky.
Okay, Ms. Swinsky, can you turn on your video?
I don't have a computer. I'm on my cell phone. And I don't know how to do that.
Is your cell phone a smartphone?
Yeah.
It should be give you a video option on the screen. Mr. Wade, can you help out at all?
It does not. I'm not as smart as my phone.
Well, then
No,
if you read the prompts on the screen, it should help you. Mr. Wade, is there a way to do that or not?
I attempted to help Ms. Christine earlier, but she really could not do it.
Okay, that's Miss Terrell is our IT tech who just spoke. Okay, all right, thank you. Miss Reinhardt, are you comfortable proceeding without being able to see Miss Swinsky?
That is up to the board as long as you feel like you have the information in order to make any credibility determinations necessary.
Okay, will there be any presentation of documents?
Yes, yes, it will be notice of violation and a series of photographs.
Okay. Ms. Swinsky, you understand without being able to see those documents, it puts you at a distinct disadvantage.
Well, Ms. Reinhardt emailed me those documents this morning, and I did get a chance to look at them. Actually, I was under the impression this case was closed. It goes back to 2023. The broken glass was removed from the storm window.
Okay, ma'am.
And the weeds were cut back. Yeah.
Yeah. That's another disadvantage. You can't see when someone else is speaking. So I need you to be very specific. The issue is that this is Miss Reinhardt. Is this a site violation?
Yeah, it is. It's not a site violation. It is a notice of violation pertaining to property maintenance issues.
Okay, all right. Mr. Swinsky, unless you get a formal notice that this was resolved, it's still open. So that's why you've appealed it and we're here today. So what we will do, we will proceed. I'll need you to raise your right hand so that you may be sworn. Do you swear affirm the testimony you give today be the truth so help you God?
Yes, I do.
Okay, all righty. Do you have a witness today, Ms. Reinhardt?
I do. The city's witness is Inspector Stacy Jones.
Okay. Mr. Jones, are you present to be sworn?
Yes, I am.
Okay, please raise your right hand, please. Do you swear or affirm the testimony you give today be the truth to help you God?
I do.
Thank you very much. You can place your hand down.
Excuse me, I apologize for interrupting. This is Board Counsel Ryan McSherry. I just wanted to confirm that the appellant indeed has the exhibits that were provided by counsel for the city, by Ms. Reinhardt, and that the appellant is able to view those at the time during the presentation if there's any reference made to those photograph exhibits, that the appellant knows which photographs are being referred to.
Okay, Ms. Swinsky, what's your response to that?
Well, I did review the email before the phone call.
The question was, do you have them available
back and forth.
Okay.
No, I can't switch back and forth.
Mr. McSherry,
I looked at the photos.
Okay, Mr. McSherry, she does not have the ability to view the photographs and the evidence as they're being presented by Ms. Reinhardt during the hearing.
So in that case, I think what I would suggest is what we've done in prior matters, either if the appellant will either need to contact their city council representative who may be able to provide either a smartphone or a computer with a webcam so that they can participate in this hearing, or go to a library, which appellants have done in other matters, in which they're able to essentially reserve a computer terminal there. But my concern is that the appellant is at a disadvantage, given that the appellant is not able to view the photographs as Ms. Reinhardt refers to him during the course of this hearing.
Okay. Ms.
Well,
Winsky,
actually,
no, Ms.
actually,
Winsky, Ms. Winsky, wait a minute. The person who was just speaking was legal counsel to the board. His legal advice to us is that you will be at a distinct disadvantage attempting to participate in this hearing without access, visual access to the evidence that's being presented by the city based on your testimony. So we were going to have to continue this unless you have something else that would change it. Do you have different information?
Well, yes, looking at the photographs, I don't feel that they're current.
Okay, so that's part of what have to be your presentation, and you don't have the ability to put on new or different photographs, do you?
No.
Okay.
When was the? Can I ask a question?
No.
We're getting into the merits of the matter, and that's the issue. Another possible solution would be, I don't know if the appellant has either a friend or family member who is more technologically capable of assisting the appellant during the hearing. If I don't know if the appellant happens to know somebody, either a friend or family member, who would be able to assist them with the technology here.
Okay, Ms. Smith, did you hear that?
Yes.
There's
Do you
one,
have access?
there's one further possibility, is that Ms. Sawinski could also come into the city's office for the Department of Licenses and Inspections and be present there to participate in the Zoom at the MSB, I believe, or 1515, either one, wherever the office is, she could come into the city.
We haven't really done that.
Oh, yeah, I'm sorry. I thought we were.
Or she could go into a breakout room now if there's a possibility.
Okay, let's do this. We're going to continue this case. There's been enough discussion as to where we are now, and it's clear that Mr. Lewinsky doesn't have the ability to really participate at the level required. So, Mr. Lewinsky, you can have an opportunity to speak with Ms. Reinhardt in a breakout room now. I don't even know if she can do that, given that she's on a telephone and not on Zoom.
She
Is
can.
that possible? She can.
Yes.
You willing to do that, Mr. Lewinsky, to talk to the city's lawyer?
Sure.
Okay. Otherwise, you're going to have to figure out a way to get access to a computer to participate in these hearings.
Can I ask a question?
In the breakout room, you can.
I'd rather you ask that question to Ms. Reinhardt in the breakout. Okay.
Okay.
So let's do it that way. We have other cases to hear. So for the record, we would note that this matter has been continued.
Yeah.
Okay. Thank you. Okay. Mr. Wade, Mr. Rulo's hand is raised, so I think he's prepared to come back to us.
Yep. I'll recall the interpreter.
Yeah, I'm here.
Okay. Recalling case 3868, 1204 South Clarion Street. Fook Hing Lau.
Okay. Mr. Rulo?
係阿太太你翻嚟未啊？我哋要翻嚟咯喎。
我喺度啊。
Okay, 喺度。Yeah, here she is.
Okay, and I was told that Inspector Smith is available now, and I believe I can see Inspector Smith on the screen now.
我哋見到嗰個之前幫你審查你間屋嗰個人喺度啦，嗰個 Smith 先生喺度嚇。
Okay, Inspector Smith, it appears that you are in a vehicle. Are you parked in a safe place? You muted. You muted, ma'am.
你當時喺架車入邊嚇，你有冇停喺嗰度咧？係安全咁停喺度咧，個先生。
我架車。
問緊個 Smith 先生，唔係你。
Inspector Smith, if you can unmute, please.
問緊嗰個先生，唔係問你嚇。
Okay. Mr. Wade, can we help her out at all in terms of getting her device unmuted?
要幫佢整嗰部機啊，未整好啊，佢開唔到，唔知點解。
我唔可以講啊。
So can I talk now?
No, no,
得啊，唔得啊。
Inspector Smith, just tap the microphone icon.
Mrs. Ruler, were you able to communicate with her earlier?
I was able to have our office, Mr. Davis, communicate with Inspector Smith. Inspector Smith, you are muted.
你嗰個一路開唔到啊，佢嗰個電話嗰個男人啊。
Inspector Smith, can you hear us now?
Yes.
Okay. Inspector Smith, this is Kenneth Woodson, board chair. Are you parked in your vehicle in a safe place?
Yes.
Okay. I'll need you to reposition your device so it's focused on your face.
佢上咗嚟啦，已經睇到佢啦，叫佢拍好啲啦，架車要。
Inspector Smith, we're going to need to swear you in now. Can you still hear us okay?
佢要而家幫佢發誓。
Okay, but I also need to see her. So where's the video? Her video was present, now there's no video.
佢哋要睇到佢塊面啊，而家。
Okay.
Inspector Smith, can you please turn the video camera back on?
Just tap your camera icon. You touched it when you unmuted. Just tap it.
Okay, wait. Oh my gosh.
Official on-demand food delivery partner of the NSA. Terms, taxes, and fees apply.
Chairman Woodson, why don't I try giving Ms. Smith a call and we can hopefully work through some of these IT issues while the board turns its attention to another matter.
Mr. Ruler, as you can imagine, I'm a little concerned about, we've asked this repellent to continually be patient here. And so I'm concerned about that if we aren't prepared to move forward, okay? So please do everything you can to resolve this so we can get this matter addressed.
佢而家想佢整翻個視像出嚟咯，但係佢整極都唔到，咁佢就話重新可能再推下時間，但係個法官話唔可以再推噶啦，一定要而家整啦，叫佢整好啲個頭像。
So again, Ms. Lau, I'm so sorry, but we're going to have to just hold off just for a few more moments.
吓，唔好意思啊，等多陣吓，因為佢嗰個視頻出唔到嚟啊，而家。
Okay. Mr. Wade, what else do we have that we can go to, please?
吓，咁盡量整咯，希望佢個頭像可以出到嚟。
Case number 33.
Okay. All right, let's call that one.
Hearing appeal ending 4674, 6408 North Woodstock Street. Monette and Lionel Joseph.
Okay. Who's representing the city in this matter?
Will Fernandez for the city of Philadelphia.
Good afternoon, Mr. Fernandez.
呢個人代表城市㗎吓，市區政府。
Okay, Ms. Wang, given that this is not her direct case, you don't have to interpret that. We'll call you back when we call her case again, okay?
Okay, sure.
Okay, thank you. All right. Anyone present representing 6406 North Woodstock Street? Monette and Lionel Joseph. Anyone present?
Right here, sir.
Okay. Your name, sir?
My name is Lionel Joseph. I also have my wife, Monette Joseph, sitting next to me. I want to say good afternoon to you, members.
Okay. All right. Thank you. Just for a moment, sir. Just for a moment. Mr. Fernandez, do you have any witnesses?
Yes, Mr. Chairman. Inspector Anthony Williams is the city's witness for this matter.
Okay,
I
Mr.
see him
Williams.
here on the call. His camera's not on right now, but he's here.
Ask him to turn his camera on so that we don't have any more complications.
Inspector Williams, can you please turn your camera and microphone on?
Okay.
Okay, Mr.
No
Fernandez, I didn't hear anyone.
Yeah, I'm looking at his, the box on the screen for him, and it's still camera off, microphone off.
I'm
So-
I'm trying to find it. They keep calling me. That's why
Okay,
I'm not
Miss
doing
Smith,
it.
Miss Smith, Miss Smith, we on the record in a different matter. So please mute yourself for the moment, okay? We're on a different matter.
Okay.
Yeah, I think I'll send Inspector Williams a message now. I apologize for the inconvenience and delay.
Mr. Joseph, while he's doing that, I'd like to swear you in. Will you be speaking or will your wife be speaking?
We'll both be speaking if you don't mind.
Well, you will
Chairman.
have to speak at different times and of course not to the same subject.
Yes, sir.
Okay, so I'll swear you both in. Do you swear or affirm the testimony you give today be the truth to help you God?
Yes.
Okay, thank you. You can place your hand
I
down.
didn't hear you too well. You
Oh, okay. I said, do you swear or affirm the testimony you give today be the truth so help you God?
Yes, sir.
Okay, thank you. And would you switch the camera to Miss Monette Joseph? Ma'am, would you raise your right hand so you can be sworn? Do you swear or affirm the testimony you give today be the truth so help you God?
Yes, sir.
Thank you. Now, given that the two of you are there and both want to have something to say in this hearing, I would ask that you not speak at the same time and that whoever's speaking, the camera be switched to that individual. I would also ask that you not respond to the same questions. We need only one response to a question, not multiple responses. Okay?
Yes.
Okay, thank you. All right, Mr. Fernandez, where are we with your witness?
Yeah, so I sent Teams messages and emails to Supervisor Williams, and he just emailed me back saying logging in with my phone. So I'm not sure if he had to leave his computer and left it signed in.
He's coming in right now.
He should be joining in just a moment. Yes, thank you, Mr. Wade.
He should be on now.
Okay, is that Mr. Anthony Williams, who's the image I see? Your witness?
There he is. I see him.
Okay.
Supervisor Williams, you're muted. There you are.
Okay, I'm good now.
Okay, Mr. Williams, you raise your right hand so that you may be sworn. Do you swear or affirm the testimony you give today be the truth so help you God?
Yes.
Thank you. You can place your hand down. Okay, Mr. Fernandez, please proceed.
Yeah, so before we get into the details of the violations and Supervisor Williams's testimony there too, I wanted to first highlight what the appellant's grounds for appeal was, because I think that this is I don't know if there's any disagreement over the existence of the violations per se. Basically, the appellants allege that this is a landlord-tenant issue and that the current tenant of the property, or I'm sorry, squatter, not tenant, according to the appellants, the squatters are creating the conditions that give rise to the violations and then allegedly manipulating the process in order to avoid getting ejected. So I don't think that they are contesting that the violations issued are an accurate reflection of the conditions at the premises.
Okay, let's do this then. Well, either way, Mr. Fernandez, you probably need to put on the record the conditions. And before you do that, Mr. Joseph, on the preliminarily, is that in fact correct? Do you have squatters, tenants that you are currently engaged in the eviction process?
Yes.
Okay.
We are.
Okay. So do you have legal representation doing that for you?
We went to the to fill out all the paperwork and I don't obtain a legal representation yet. If I have to, I will. Paperwork is in.
Okay. And in this case, you and your wife are the sole owners of this property?
Yes, sir.
Okay. All right. Thank you. We will proceed then, Mr. Fernandez.
Can I?
No, not yet. No, not just so. We have a process we have to go through. So we'll have to put everything on the record, and then you can respond by putting your information on the record. Okay.
Yeah, and Mr. Chairman, I think maybe to expedite things at least a little bit is I'll run through the violations relatively quickly with Supervisor Williams. Given that there's no specific rebuttal of them, if the appellants wish for me to expand on any of the violations and unpack it a little bit more with Inspector Williams' testimony, I'd be happy to do so.
Okay, thank you.
Okay.
Please proceed.
Turning now to Inspector Williams, can you hear me okay?
Yes.
Okay, can you please state your job title and position of and where you're employed?
Supervisor for property maintenance, North District.
Okay, have you had the have you performed any inspections at 6408 North Woodstock?
Yes.
Okay, I'm going to share my screen now. In just a moment, you are going to see a document on your screen. Can you let me know when you can see it?
I can see it. If you
Okay,
can make it a
this
little
is-
larger.
I'll zoom in a
Yeah,
little bit more.
yeah, we'll need it larger for the. Yeah, thank you. For
You
purposes
know what?
of
I'm
Google.
gonna unshare and then I'm gonna share the PDF specifically. I think
Okay.
I made it a little bit more difficult to see by sharing a screen instead of a specific PDF. So hopefully this is a little better in just a moment.
That's better.
Okay, good. All right, Inspector, we're looking at City Exhibits page 1. Can you identify this document?
That's a notice of violation.
What was the date?
Wow, I'm on the phone and these date of notice was 11. You have to make it just a little bit bigger because I can't. I'm on the phone. I can't see it. Looks November 2nd, 2023.
Okay, and what was it issued to 6408 North Woodstock?
Yes.
Okay, and was that to Lionel and Monette Joseph?
Yes.
Okay. Down here, you see some violations. I'm going to read the violations and then ask you to affirm if they accurately reflect the violations listed on this notice. PM 15603, repair gas heater and cooking appliance. PM 15505, repair/restore hot water. PM 15109, restore gas service. PM 15305, repair damage to living room ceiling, rear bedroom ceiling, and enclosed porch ceiling. PM 15504, replace missing tub fixtures and repair toilet to function properly. PM 15305, install rail guard at base of stairwell. PM 15304.15, repair damage at base of front door. PM 15304.13, repair broken glass to front bay window. Are those the violations that are referenced on this notice of violation?
Correct.
Okay, and is this the notice of violation that's at issue at the appeal today?
Yes.
Okay, I'm gonna scroll down now to City Exhibits, page 5. And I'm just gonna kind of scroll down through from page 5 to page 12. I'll ask you a couple of questions once I am done scrolling through them. I'm gonna start now. I think one more. That's the end of it. Did you take all these photographs?
No, I did not. They were from the original inspector.
Okay, did you observe these photographs in the Eclipse records for 6408 North Woodstock?
Yes.
Okay, and do you normally use the Eclipse system to maintain city records?
Yes.
Okay, and do you use the Eclipse system on a day-to-day basis?
Correct.
Okay, those photographs, do they accurately show conditions that match the violations that I read earlier?
Yes.
Okay, have you performed any recent re-inspections at this property?
Yes.
When were you there last?
This morning.
Okay, and did you perform an inspection?
Of the first floor. I was unable to get to the second floor.
Okay. Were any of the violations cured at the time of your inspection this morning?
None of the ones that were for the first floor.
Okay, and do the conditions that you observed today more or less match the conditions reflected in these photographs?
Yes.
With respect to the violations that were cited, are there any differences that you think are worth bringing up to this board?
No.
Okay, I have no further questions for the inspector.
Okay, Mr. Joseph,
Supervisor, excuse me.
Yes, sir.
do you have any cross-examination questions for the supervisor
Oh, yes, definitely.
based on his testimony? This is questions
Yes.
based on his testimony.
Yes, sir. With all the respect, for Mr. Anthony Williams, I believe he's not, telling the truth.
Well, sir, you
because-
have to ask a question, not make a
Oh, I have
statement.
to ask the questions?
If
Yes,
you don't
sir.
have a question, that's
the
okay
front
when you
door.
present
Let's
yourself.
bring it back to the front door. The police have been to the premises. They tore up the front door. The building is a nuisance. You didn't see that.
Sir, what is your question?
My question is at the front door. And you,
What about the
can you
front
bring the
door?
front door in?
Sir, you asked about the front door. The front door, the violation was that it was damaged at the base of it. It's
At
still
the base
damaged at
of
the base, but it's also
Okay.
damaged at the other side, but it's still
Okay.
damaged at the base of the door.
Okay. Respectful, I respect that.
Okay.
But now this is what we are going through right now.
Okay, no, Mr. Joseph, you're not understanding me. This
Okay,
is
I don't,
your
okay, I understand. Okay,
Listen
I don't
to
have
me.
the question. No question.
Okay. Because if you don't,
front
that's
door.
okay. If you don't have any questions, you will have
Okay.
an opportunity in a moment to present your case.
Okay,
But
thank you very much.
this is, so do you have any other cross-examination questions for the inspector?
The questions I have for the inspector is, he said he went to the first floor. I know there's a dog upstairs. So that's probably why he couldn't get upstairs.
Okay, I don't hear a
Yeah,
question in that. Where's your question?
Where the a dog, because I've tried to be in the property is.
Pardon me, we don't understand. We can't understand you. What is your question? You have a question, sir?
Okay, why couldn't you go upstairs to the second?
Because there was a dog upstairs.
Thank you.
Okay, all right, thank you.
Thank you.
All right.
No redirects.
Okay, any additional witnesses, Mr. Fernandez?
No further witnesses, Mr. Chairman.
Okay, all right, Mr. Joseph, share with us your understanding what's going on at this property.
Yes, sir. What's going on? With all, like I said before, respectful. I'm having problems with this property here. It's, I mean, a nuisance, big time nuisance. You know, the door's been busted by the police. There's dogs up there. I've tried so many different times to go in there. I have letters. I sent you guys letters.
Wait a minute, sir. Your microphone keeps going in and out. I'm not sure if there's a problem with your system or is your volume up as high as it can be. Just if you can adjust it, please do that because we're losing some of what you're saying.
All right. Can you hear me now, sir?
Yes, sir.
Yes. I mean, the property now becoming a nuisance. I've tried to go in there to fix the property. I'm afraid. There's a dog. I've sent multiple contractors in there. Same problem. They don't open the door, dogs. And right now there's 2 chairs in front of the property. You know, so exactly what's going on in there is what I mentioned on the appeal. And right now I'm in the process and to get these guys out of there. There's so many different people in there. It's just so we can get everything fixed. That's the reason why we're trying to do this. And it's tough.
Okay.
I'm pretty sure
I would ask you this, Mr. Joseph. Did you have a lease with the individuals who are residing in the property?
No.
No lease? Are they paying you rent of any sort?
No.
What is that, yes or no?
Was a no, Mr. Chairman.
No? Okay. So did they move in without your approval?
Yes.
How long have they resided in the property?
They have been in the property when I try to, I mean, at least a good what? Even 3.5, I tried 2 years and a half, they've been in the property and,
2.5
tried
what?
to-
2.5 what?
years.
Weeks?
Yeah, I've tried to, years.
So do
I have
you
tried
know
to-
these individuals? Are they related to you in some fashion?
No.
Okay. All right.
They're not related.
Okay. Before I say anything else, Mr. Fernandez, do you have any cross-examination?
No, Mr. Chairman, I don't have any cross-examination. I certainly take Mr. Monet's averments that he's in a disagreement with the occupant of the property at face value. I have no reason to not believe him. I wish him luck in getting them resolved, but the violations do exist as they were relayed to the board. And I'm getting into a closing argument now. So I'll just say for now, no cross-examination. Sorry, Chairman.
Okay. All right. Mr. Monet, so Mr. Pincus, you have any questions?
I do. Is your last name Joseph? Is that correct, or is it Monette?
Okay, my wife's first name is Monette Joseph. My first name is Lionel Joseph.
Okay, Mr. Joseph.
Yes,
Do
sir.
you own other properties in the city of Philadelphia?
Yes, sir.
Do you rent them out?
Yes, sir.
I see. Okay, so this is not the only rental property that you are involved with.
Yes, sir.
Okay, and in this property, and you say the people have been living there for 2.5 years. Have you
Yes, sir.
begun any legal proceedings to get them not necessarily evicted, but to get them, and you may know this term, it's called ejected. Have you hired an attorney to remove them from the property?
Okay, what happened is that, to answer your question, sir, when we try to hire an attorney, what they did, they have us, they call L&I on us.
Right,
And then
that's if you do an eviction proceeding. Have
we
you
are trying.
Have you filed in common pleas court to get these people ejected from your property?
Yes, we did that.
When did you do that?
We did that a while ago, but what happened is that they told us, so they can, they can speak to us. So we try to speak to them, they never get back to us. And then it just left out just like that. And then, so we can have some kind of, we tried just about almost everything.
Mr. Joseph, you're not answering my question.
Okay, yes, we did. We have the paperwork here. The number is 241002607.
What does that mean?
We tried to eject it.
I see. And when did you file that? When was that filed? The violations were issued in 2023. We're a year. It was a year ago. When did you file the ejectment action?
10/21/2024.
10/21/24. That would be about a day ago or 2 days, yesterday.
Of course, sir. What happened?
No. You've answered my question. Thank you.
Okay, you're welcome.
Okay. Anything else from anyone? Okay. Mr. Joseph, you understand that our role here is to determine whether or not the city properly wrote violations against the property. It is not our role here to resolve your tenancy issues with occupants. You understand that, correct?
Yes, sir.
Okay. This matter I would suggest that this matter suggests that you secure a real estate attorney who can help you through this. This is not going to be an easy process to get through as a layperson. But is there anyone else, any additional comments, sir, you want to make before we ask the city's final argument?
Personally, sir, I've tried just about almost everything. I've sent you guys all the letters. I've tried to get inside the place. Like Mr. Anthony Williams just explained to you, he couldn't even get upstairs. There's a dog up there. People are selling. I don't know if I'm allowed to say that, on the Zoom. It's impossible to get in there. Rough.
Okay.
Place is becoming a nuisance to the whole block. It's bad. I need help. period.
Okay. And so, Mr. Joseph, what I'm saying to you is that your help, first of all, should be in a real estate attorney who could help you do what you need to do. That's what I would recommend, but I'm not your attorney, can't give you legal advice.
Mr. Chairman,
yes.
I believe what he was referencing is in fact a complaint that's been filed in Common Pleas Court yesterday. I assume you had an attorney file that complaint. Is that right, Mr. Joseph?
No, sir. We did it ourselves down there.
Okay. Okay, Mr. Chairman, your recommendation is a very, very good one under the circumstances. How many properties do you own, Mr. Joseph?
1, 2, 3, 4.
Thank you.
Including my, where I live at.
Okay.
Okay. Mr. Fernandez, any final argument?
Yes, very briefly, Mr. Chairman. There wasn't any evidence presented today that the conditions testified to by Supervisor Williams and reflected in the photographs that were introduced by Supervisor Williams. There was no indication through any of testimony from the appellants or cross-examination that those are inaccurate. And the board is here today to determine whether violations issued by the city are accurate. I certainly would understand in normal circumstances if the board were considering issuing some sort of short stay of enforcement given the alleged ejectment action, a dispute between the current occupying tenant and the property owner. But I would urge the board to simply affirm the violations today. The appellants here got more than a year of relief just by virtue of taking this appeal and having it work through the board's list of cases. You heard the appellant testify that he filed an ejectment action yesterday. And so I would just offer up to the board that here the appellants have failed to take action to speed the ejectment along. They only did so at the 11th hour before the hearing so that they could possibly testify to the hearing that they are proceeding with an ejectment action. And so given all of that, I would ask the board to simply affirm these violations.
Okay, thank you. If there's nothing else from anyone, we will poll the board on HA-2023-004674, Monette and Lionel Joseph, city affirmed.
City affirmed.
City affirmed with a 60-day stay of enforcement.
City affirmed with the 60-day stay of enforcement.
Okay.
City affirmed with a 60-day stay of enforcement.
Okay, thank you. I will adjust my vote to include the 60-day stay of enforcement. Okay, thank you very much. I believe that's a complete vote. Mr. Joseph, you've lost your appeal, but we've added in a 60-day stay of enforcement to give you some additional time to work through Common Pleas Court. If you would choose to appeal our decision, you may do so. If you need information, check with the administrator and they can provide you with the information you may need to appeal the decision of the board. All right, thank you very much. Have a good afternoon. Sir, you've put the raised hands in. Was there something else that you need to ask?
I mean, something I believe that the board failed to understand is that, contractors, myself, can't get inside a place.
Okay, Mr. Joseph, that's why I advise you to get a real estate lawyer to help you to take the appropriate legal steps. There's nothing that the board
When I do that,
listen to me, sir. Listen to me. Listen to me. There's nothing that this board or any other municipal agency can do short of declaring the property to be the uninhabitable. But that's a different matter. That's not before the board. You as the property owner, particularly as an investor, you need to take the appropriate legal steps to get these people out of the property.
Yes,
that's
sir.
your responsibility.
One thing I want to ask you, sir.
Okay, and the case is done. We voted. So we'll take this question, but we have to move on to other cases. Anything else you want to add?
But I mean, as things take so much time in the city of Philadelphia, I think I need a little bit more time than 60 days. That's the only thing I was.
Okay, the 60 days is what you have to state the enforcement, but you need to hire a lawyer today.
Okay.
You can choose
Thank
not
you
to.
very
That's
much.
your choice. That's your choice. But
Okay.
that's my advice to you. Have a good day.
Thank you. Yes,
Okay,
yes,
Mr. Wade, where are we in terms of calling our next matter?
I believe we're back to number 7.
Okay, do we have everybody present and able
believe-
to communicate?
I
Mr.
believe
Chair, Mr. Chair, you
Yes,
have
sir.
Mr. Rulo with his hand up.
Yes, I
That's
see
for
it.
this matter.
He's for us. Okay, let's put it back on the record again, Mr. Wade.
Recalling case 7, appeal ending 3868, 1204 South Clarion, Fook Hing Lau, interpreter.
Okay, do we have the
Yes,
interpreter
I'm
present?
here. No
Okay.
problem. Hey, 婆婆翻嚟啦，我哋又吓。
Okay, Mr. Rulo, you have your hand up. Is there something you want to report before we get started?
Yes, I just wanted to let the board know that Inspector Smith is back. I'm going to break this into pieces for the ease of the translator.
Okay.
OK，嗰個頭先嗰個女人翻嚟啦，佢吓嗰個見證人。
Okay, let us get started. Ms. Smith, as you would, the inspector would unmute yourself so I can swear you in.
佢叫嗰個見證人要宣誓。
If I may, Chairman Woodson, Inspector Smith has been having vehicle issues and technology issues. I want to try one more time, and if Inspector Smith is struggling, we're going to have Code Administrator Ron Davis testify as a records witness so that we don't hold this up further.
Okay, is he present?
He is. I guess I'll let the translator.
嚇，因為嗰個見證人咧架車有問題，個視頻有問題，所以咧唔一定係入到嚟啊，所以佢叫一個人係即係我哋首先做咗落去先嚇。
Okay, so what we will do is swear in Mr. Davis, and if during your presentation of the case you want to call Ms. Smith, you may do so. Mr. Davis, if you raise your right hand.
佢幫佢宣誓下而家。
Do you swear or affirm the testimony you give today be the truth so help you God?
Yes.
佢宣誓所有嘅講嘅嘢都係真實無誤嘅嚇。
Okay, Miss Lau, are you present? I need to swear you in.
阿劉太，你而家都係要舉手下宣誓。
Ma'am, would you raise your right hand so that you may be sworn?
你舉起右手啊，婆婆。
我隻右手係唔喐得㗎，我隻右手有問題，我只係得嘅左手做。
Okay, I have something wrong with my left arm, some medical condition. Only my left arm, only left arm, not the right arm.
Okay, all right. If you would raise your arm, raise the hand that you can. Do you swear or affirm the testimony that you give will be truth so help you God?
你今日所提供嘅證據都係真實無誤所知嘅全部係有神嘅見證。Yeah.
Okay, thank you. Mr. Rulo, please proceed.
Inspector Smith, we're still having trouble hearing you, so I'm going to proceed with Code Administrator Ron Davis as the witness.
我哋而家佢嗰個有問題。
Wait. No. Wait. Just gotta be careful. Wait a minute. Because we have an interpreter, all of us just whatever we say in English, just wait until the interpreter says it in Cantonese.
Okay.
So don't speak anything until she says it. Now she was saying something based on Mr. Rulo's comment. Then I'll get to you.
Okay, thank you.
Okay.
因為個證人仲有問題啊，入唔到嚟，所以我哋就叫咗呢個人先嚇。
Okay. Mr. Washington.
Yes, sir. I'm looking at my paperwork, and that's a different name that's up on the screen.
嚇，我睇到我嗰啲文件上面有唔同嘅名嘅上面。
Okay, Mr. Wade, what is the appropriate name? Who's the appellant listed for today?
邊個係個申報人咧？個上訴人嘅名？
Wu King Lau, I'll change it.
而家換翻你個名嚇，應該係你個名。
Okay. And my question to Miss Lau, who's MOOK Lau? Mook Lau.
邊個係木撈啊？係咪就係你啊
FOK 啊，
係 F 啊，係咪啊？
佢可能聽錯咗啊，正話。
應該 F as a Frank 係嘛？即係 F 嚇，it should be FOOK。
Okay. So just a misspelling then.
Thank you, Mr. Chair.
Okay, thank you. Okay, let us proceed. Mr. Rulo.
Mr.
我而家
Davis,
開始。
Sorry about that. Mr. Davis, can you explain what your position is with the department?
你可唔可以解釋下你喺政府部門嘅工作係啲乜嘢？
Yes, I'm a court administrator. I attend court and board proceedings, serve as a representative for the department.
我係嗰個法律嗰個代表啊，嗰個行政人員啦，即係管理個法律程序嗰個人嚟㗎，行政嗰個人。
And you're familiar with the department's records keeping policies, correct?
Yes. 你知道個部門需要嗰個即係檔案儲存嘅個政策㗎。
And Mr. Davis, just as a reminder, we do need to pause for a second after each question for the sake of the translator. I've forgotten myself. I understand.
我哋每一句嘢講完都要停一停下，要翻譯。
And you're familiar with the city's Eclipse database, correct?
你知道我哋嗰個城市嗰個檔案咧，有時係跳咗啊，即係有啲地方係有即係失傳嘅地方嚇。
Yes.
And are you familiar with the records for a property located at 1204 South Clarion?
你知唔知道喺1204 South Clarion 嗰個地方嗰個屋企啊，個屋址嚇？
Yes.
And I'm just going to share my screen right now, board members.
嚇，我俾啲圖片你哋睇下。
Please.
Mr. Davis, can you see what's been displayed as screen as City Exhibit A?
嚇，呢度係城市嗰個 A 部分嘅展覽嚇，展示。
Yes.
I've moved down to the first page. I'm going to zoom in. What is this document?
嚇，呢一個係咩嚟嘅咧？呢個份文件。
This is a site violation notice.
嚇，呢一個就話你哋有嗰個地方咧有一啲違規嘅文件嚟㗎。
And it was listed to the appellant who's here. It was issued to the appellant who's here today, correct?
係寫俾呢度呢個太太嘅，關於有啲違規嘅嘢嚇。
Yes. Can you zoom in a little bit more?
可唔可以打開多啲嚇？
And what is a site violation notice?
呢個係啲乜嘢違規嘅文件呢？
A site violation notice is a violation where the inspector goes out and finds that the property is in violation. So instead of issuing a violation to have the owner corrected in 35 days, we issue a site violation notice, which is like a ticket.
呢個可以係一個告票咯、傳單啦，係政府俾嗰個屋企嘅持有者，就係因為我哋請咗一啲人咧去審批嘅人去到檢查嘅，就發覺有啲地方咧係違規咗政府嘅要求啊，市政府一啲嘅要求，所以就俾咗一個嘅，即係好似個告票咯，一個票咁俾你噶。
And this violation notice was issued for a exterior area sanitation, correct?
呢一個嘅違規咧，主要係講就外觀上面有啲污糟嘅地方係嘛，即係唔乾淨嘅。
Yes.
係啊。
And it indicates down here that it was because of conditions found in the rear of the property, correct?
主要就係因為係喺後院嗰度啊，個屋企後院嗰度嘅情況。
Yes.
係啊。
We move down to the next page here. What has been preliminarily marked as City Exhibit B. I'm going to zoom out slightly.
嚇，咁下一版咧就講到係 B 部分嘅展示嚇，城市比嘅。
And again, you had a chance to review the records in Eclipse for this property, correct?
所以你當時有睇過呢一個成個嘅案件嚇，即係睇到佢入邊嘅情況係點樣啦，係咪？
Yes.
係。
Okay, and these are the images that are associated with that file, correct?
所以呢啲全部都係當時咧係影低嘅相，關於呢個即係違規嘅情況。
Yes.
係。
And what is shown in this photo?
你喺呢度睇到啲乜嘢咧？
呢啲係我嗰啲 recycle 啊 ，recycle 桶嗰啲垃圾啊，我將。
Miss Lau, no, Miss Lau, you can't speak out. You got to only respond to questions, or when it's time for you to present your case. At the moment, the city is presenting its case.
嚇，唔好意思啊，你而家唔可以講嘅，一定而家係城市喺度講緊佢哋嗰方面嘅答辯，所以你唔講住嚇。
Okay, Mr. Rulo, please consider.
Returning to the question, what is shown in this image?
呢個係有啲咩嘅圖片顯示咧？
Okay, Mr. Davis, before you answer that question, Mr. Davis, before you answer that question, please advise the individuals around you that you're in court testifying and we can hear their conversations. So if you could do anything to get the volume down on your end.
Okay, give me
唔好
one
意思，
second.
因為佢後面有啲人講緊嘢，就叫佢後面嗰啲人唔好講嘢，係因為嘈到我哋呢度。
Okay, I'm back.
Thank you.
And again, what is displayed in this image?
嚇，呢度入邊有啲咩顯示咧？圖畫入邊
我呢
If
條
you
嘅
could,
可唔可以講？
係
Miss
唔
Lau,
得
this question was not for you. This question is for Mr. Davis.
嚇，呢個唔係你講嘅嚇。
in the picture, you can see debris, also recycled bins that's filled up with cardboard boxes, along with trash bags. I don't think the violation was issued for the plants that's stored in the corner, but more like the debris that's on the right-hand side of the picture.
And then move down to the bottom of this photo. And are there more bags and wires in this at the bottom of this photo as well? Highlighting this portion here.
嚇，呢度你仲有冇見到好多其他嘅嘢喺呢度下面係違規市區中心嘅違規嘅嘢咧？
That's correct.
係有。
Moving to the next image, and we just have another angle of that debris. Is that correct?
嚇，呢度又仲有更多一啲嘅雜物啦，係嘛？
That's correct.
And then I have another image here. This is showing recycling bin with debris in it as well. Is that correct?
嚇，呢度就有啲回收嘅嗰啲膠盒啦，同埋一啲雜物，各項嘅雜物。
That's correct.
係啦。
And then we have another image showing additional debris in another portion of the backyard, correct?
同埋仲有更多雜物啦喺個後院嗰度。
Correct.
And then in this image, we see the rear of the property, the rear of the building. Is that correct?
呢度係後面一個房屋後面嘅情況。
Yes.
And it shows that there's a further accumulation of bags and debris right up against the house, correct?
同埋有更多好多雜物咧堆積喺後面個屋後面一堆嘢。
That's correct.
係啊。
And then we have another angle that's showing trash bags in this file as well, correct?
同埋喺呢度仲有見到好多呢啲垃圾袋啦，係咪？同埋好多唔同嘅嘢雜雜立立啦嚇。
That's correct.
係啦。
And then is this an image of the front of the property as far as you're aware?
呢度係前面啦，個屋企前面嘅圖像。
Yes, that's correct.
係啦。
And again, while you have not been to the property, you can confirm that each of these images is in the file of the Eclipse system that LNI maintains, correct?
但係你冇去到現場，你唔能夠真係喺現場最現場咁睇到所有嘅嘢，係咪咧？
Yes.
係。
And these are listed as the images that Inspector Smith had taken at the property, correct?
所以係當時嗰個檢查者咧，個 Smith 嗰個女士嚇，去到當場嘅時候影低嘅相俾你睇嘅，係咪？
Yes, that's correct.
係啦。
That does it for my directive, Mr. Davis.
Okay.
我已經講完啦。
Ms. Lau, do you have any questions for the inspector based on his testimony?
嚇，你有冇咩問題咧？阿劉女士，關於佢頭先講嘅所有嘅嘢，有冇問題要問咧？
有啲就係嗰個 recycle 桶啦，我就即係嗰啲就等嗰個即係擺晒嗰啲嘢喺個 recycle 桶嗰度，就等呢個星期三就拎出去 sidewalk 咯。
Yeah, because I'm waiting for like Wednesday, we'll take everything out to the sidewalk.
Okay.
The
I'm
recycling,
asking,
yeah.
yes, I was asking her, did she have any questions for the inspector? I mean, for the administrator based on his testimony. She can present her facts later. Does she have any questions for Mr. Davis?
嚇，而家唔係講住要你嘅立場，而係講你有咩問題問咗佢哋先嚇。
我想知道係邊個投訴我嘅。
Oh, I want to know who complained about it.
Mr. Davis?
I'm going to object. That would be part of the investigatory privilege for the city. The identities of complainants is a very protected aspect that cannot be disclosed. It's a privilege issue. So we would really stand firm on the admissibility of that objection before the board. This isn't a relevance type objection.
Okay.
唔好意思啊，
there-
我哋唔好意思啊，我哋唔可以將嗰個答案講俾你聽，因為呢個係保護嗰個人嘅權力，同埋保護佢嘅隱私。呢個係我哋市政府嘅一個保護嗰啲為咗係幫助城市嗰啲人嗰啲私隱嘅問題，所以就唔可以話俾你聽啊。
Okay, based on the city's objection, I'm going to ask Mr. Davis not to respond to that question. Do you have any other questions?
我會叫佢唔可以同你講咯。咁你有冇其他問題咧？
因為我即係個屋主，我經過個第一，我已經即係逐啲嘅設計噶啦，個屋主就佢話 OK，very good 噶啦。
Yeah, actually, the landlord has been asking me to clean up the backyard. I've been trying to do it, bit by bit, a little bit by a little bit, I've been doing it.
Okay, that was not a question. So let's move on then. Mr. Rulo, do you have any additional witnesses?
呢個亦都唔係問題咯，你有冇問題要問一問咗先好嘛？
Mr. Rulo, you have any additional witnesses?
仲有冇其他嘅問題？
I do not have any additional witnesses.
Okay. All right, Ms. Lau, give us your understanding of what's happening here.
你知唔知道究竟係發生緊咩事咧，劉太？
我知佢講啲垃圾，我係講下因為嗰啲問題咧就係每一次落雨啦 ，outside heavy rain 啦，就落大雨咧，我個 basement 咧嗰啲水咧就流入嚟我 basement 啊，咁所以咧就好多，即係所以我 basement 嗰啲所有嗰啲嘢就濕晒啦，差唔多有9寸嘅水啊。
OK。
所有嗰啲嘢濕晒咧，所以我要將嗰啲嘢咧就全部搬上去嗰個 backyard 嗰度啦。
Yeah, because it's been like raining and also like some flood inside the house. So that's why I moved everything out to the backyard.
The basement
From the basement to the backyard.
A lot of water come to my basement.
Yeah, a lot of water go into the basement.
所以咧就好我要所以全部地個 basement 嗰啲書啊。報紙啊，所有嗰啲嘢都濕晒噶啦，所以我要拎佢嗰個 backyard 嗰度曬乾佢，然後擺落個垃圾桶嚟清理咯。
Yeah, because a lot of water went down to the basement and then causing like some flood issue and also a lot of things like pretty wet. So I took it out. Hopefully it can get dry and then maybe toss some of the things later.
Anyone else have any questions?
I do, Mr. Chair. Ms. Liu mentioned the fact that it's been raining, and I believe this city as well as others are in a drought, so we haven't had rain in 28 days. So what rain and what flood is this water coming from? Or is it from inside pipes?
你點解會話會有水浸咧？因為冇落雨喎，亦都冇話有啲咩水浸喎，係因為你屋企嘅水喉漏水啊，定係點樣咧？
水喉漏水啊！因為出邊嗰啲渠啊 ，outside 嗰啲渠咧好多垃圾啊，啲水咧就落大雨嗰陣時咧，啲水去唔到啊，啲水去唔到，咪嗰啲水沖入我個即係沖入我個 basement 咯。
Yeah, because it was raining earlier, and then the water got like stuck because of the pipe outside my house was not really like because a lot of the trash stuck, in the pipe. So that's why a lot of water came into my house.
It's outside the chute, the
Yeah.
the
sewer, yeah, from outside, not from inside.
Not my house, in the corner, on the corner, in the corner, the outside chute, lot of church over there.
Thank you.
Mr. Chairman?
Yes.
Ms. Lau, if I may.
Yes.
The violation notice was issued on August the 16th of 2023.
Yeah.
Well, wait, do you understand what I'm saying?
你嗰個犯違規咧係8月16號2023年啊。
23年落完雨咪係咁咯。
Yeah, it was after the rain.
Well, you've had you have had over 1 year to fix the situation, to fix the problem.
但係你有1年咧去解決嗰啲問題嘅喎。
因為我有嗰個 health problem 啦，我只係得一隻手喐，所以我逐啲做咯。
Yeah, because I have a health problem, my medical problem condition, my arm, so I can only do it a little bit by a little bit.
Who is Lau Nam Ben?
Lau Nam Ben 係邊個嚟㗎？
佢係嗰個我 daughter。
My daughter.
He owns the property with you?
佢係嘛
？Does she live there with you?
佢有冇同你一齊住 ？No.
Thank you.
Anyone else have any questions?
有冇問題咧？大家？
我可唔可以講啊
？Can I talk now?
Yes.
嚇，你講啊！
以前咧，就我個 neighbor 咧，就有個 lady 咧，每一次咧，如果 heavy rain 咧，有啲水沖入嚟我屋企咧，佢就會去打電話去 city 咧，啲人嚟clean up 嗰啲垃圾喺出邊夾晒啲垃圾咧，就冇問題噶啦。可唔可以同我解釋俾佢聽啊？
Okay, there was a lady, used to call the city to come clean up the street trash. That way, the water after the rain, the water would go down the sewer like easily. But yeah, no one did it at that time.
Okay. Does anyone else have any comments? Okay. Mr. Rulo, I'd like you to actually, in your closing, address the fact that this is a site violation.
Yes, I will be very brief. This is a site violation notice. It is for $300. We are here a year later, and the testimony has shown that the trash still remains. While compliance is not relevant to the validity of this site violation notice, which I think at this point is essentially undisputed, that the violative conditions existed at the time it was issued. I do know that.
Mr. Rulo, just be careful now. We have the interpreter.
Okay. 咁咧就想同你講咯，即係因為嗰個係一個違規啊，即係你嗰個嘢咧已經好耐啦，成年啦，但係即係一路都冇處理，咁所以咧有你提出嘅申控啊，即係各方面嘅嘢唔一定係完全咧合理化，咁有啲嘢唔可以真係完全訴求到你嘅要求咯嚇。咁佢仲未講完，你打陣嚇。
Just one moment. Mr. Henry, you interfering with my case because you were not muted. So now you are muted.
Okay.
Okay, my apologies, ma'am. So please continue.
Oh, yeah, I'm done. You may go ahead. Thank you.
Mr. Rulo?
Yes, so at this stage, the violation existed. There was a basis for the $300. We haven't heard any factors that would dispute its validity. And while I know that sometimes the board does impose for lesser amounts, I don't believe that there is a justification in this instance to lower it from the $300.
咁咧就呢個罰款咧就300蚊嘅，咁同埋因為你冇更多嘅真係好可信性啊，同埋真係好確定性嘅即係個因素咧，就話可以幫你減咗個300蚊，咁所以咧就應該咧就唔會幫你減，咁就係應該係你要罰款啦，因為已經好耐啦，亦都唔睇到真係有好可信性嘅即係要求話係可以等你申辯答辯到嘅，即係上訴到嚇。
我已經清潔咗，已經clean up 咗個 backyard 噶啦。
I've already cleaned up my backyard.
點解啲住客成日投訴我咧
I don't know why people always complain about me.
Oh, okay, ma'am, do you have any photographs, evidence that you cleaned up your yard?
你有冇啲相可以證據證明就話你已經清潔好啦，成個後院冇問題啦？而家
我冇啊，我冇帶咧，我冇啊。
No, I don't.
Okay. I would also just note that I believe the testimony that was provided was that she intended to put out bags of trash this Wednesday. So that would appear to be a conflict in the testimony there. Just for the record, I want to note that.
係咯，就話你想攞啲垃圾啊嗰啲出去禮拜三，但係呢個好似係矛盾嘅，同你之前講嘅嘢，咁所以即係亦都落咗檔案㗎啦，咁唔覺得係即係你有即係做有冇證據咯？你而家冇證據證明到係嘛？
我已經將嗰啲嘢全部搬晒出去嗰個已經倒晒垃圾㗎啦，而家。
I've already moved everything out and then I took the trash out.
我已經I try my best to do it.
Yeah,
Okay.
I try my best to do it.
Okay. All right. Thank you very much. We will now poll the board regarding HA-2023-003868.
咁而家我哋開始咧就要關於你呢個檔案咧，頭先講個號碼最後有個申報個決定。
1204 South Clarion Street.
就講到12204 South Clarion Street 嗰個你嗰個地址
Booking Lau.
Booking Lau
The vote starts city affirm.
城市係確認咯
City affirmed.
城市確認。
可唔可以 cut down 㗎？咁咪撈單個 price 啊？
Ms. Lau, Ms. Lau, please, we're voting, so there's nothing else to be said. Allow us complete our vote. Okay, I think that Mr. Pincus was the last vote. Who's next? Mr. Tennant?
I
City
believe Mr.
affirmed.
Pettit. There you go.
Mr. Pettit, my apologies. Mr. Pettit, city affirm. Mr. Tennant?
City affirmed.
確認啦，城市確認。
Okay, Mr. Washington, Mr. Patton.
City affirmed.
城市
Thank
確
you.
認。
Okay. Ms. Lau, you've lost your appeal. Those unanimous vote, city affirm.
你已經輸咗啦，呢個敗訴因為全體嘅城市都係一致同意係確認。
You may appeal the decision of the board if you choose to. If you need information as to how to do that, check with the administrator's office and they can tell you what you need to do to appeal our decision.
如果你對我哋嘅結果不滿，你可以上訴但係如果你唔識整咧，你可以到城市個秘書嗰度問下點樣上訴。
Okay. Thank you very much.
Mr. Chairman, may I add something?
Yes.
I noticed, I'd like the interpreter to interpret what I'm saying. I noticed a letter attached to the appeal from the Broad Street Ministry.
我見到呢度有一個上訴，有張信上面講到係個 Broad Street 嗰個一個事工ministry 嗰度。
Courtney Lane states in this undated letter that Ms. Lua Phuc Hing is low income and cannot afford the fine.
咁嗰個教會咧就話你咧好低收入，你唔能夠俾到個300蚊嘅賠款咯，罰款
The city has a separate board called the Philadelphia Tax Review Board.
Am I being heard?
Yes, sir. Please mute.
OK， 咁嗰個政府咧有個特別嘅一個部門咁咧就叫做咧嗰個稅項嗰度減免嘅地方嘅。
Yes, please mute.
You may want to find out how to appeal the determination from today's hearing to get relief from the fine.
你可以去嗰度問咯，問下點樣可以得到免除咗今日嗰個罰款，嗰邊可能會有幫到你咧，就可以免除咗，咁你唔使俾錢咯
I'm not sure who you call in order to get someone who can help you that speaks Mandarin. You may need to call your city council person.
咁我唔知道你要打電話俾邊個，但係你可以打俾你嗰個市區嗰個諮詢部啦委員會，你問下佢哋可以邊度可以去問到嗰度，然後可以免除你個罰款。
I just wanted you to be aware that you may have some relief from be able to request relief from paying the fine.
所以你可能係有可能去嗰邊咧，要求係免除咗個罰款㗎。
地址喺邊度啊？
Do you know the address?
It's in the city, but you have to find the Philadelphia Tax Review Board, and I think you will need some help to find out how to go about filing the appeal.
嚇，嗰個我唔知道喺邊度啊，但係佢個名咧就叫做費城嗰個稅務重審批嗰個地方嚟嘅，咁你可以去問下咯。
Good luck.
我已經周圍問人揾人幫，都揾唔到人，我唔知去邊度可以揾到人幫手啊。
Yeah, I've
因為
asked around. No one can really help me, and they don't know what to do. I don't know what to do either.
As advised by Mr. Pincus, she should start by looking up on the city website the tax review board and contacting them.
嚇，你叫個人上網咯，幫你揾咧費城稅務審批委員會嗰度啊，嚇，你叫人上網幫你揾就得㗎啦。
Or call your city council person.
或者係打俾你嗰個城市咧，嗰個市區個嗰啲咩啊，嗰啲政府嗰啲秘書嗰度咧，你去嗰度問啦，應該問到㗎啦。
Good luck.
去邊？
嚇，祝你好運。去市區政府嚇。So I just go to the city as a someone I can ask.
Yes,
go
check
everywhere.
with city council. We've said city council person for her district, her city council person.
係咯，你嗰個區嗰個委員會咧，係應該有人可以問到㗎。
嗰個 pencil 叫咩名？個地址喺邊度啊？
Do you have the address?
No.
冇
Check.
喎，你要自己揾。
Yeah, all we can do is give you advice. It's easily available on the website, or talk to the people that you work with at the church. Someone should be able to help you connect with your city council person or your neighbors.
嚇，你去教會啦，教會入邊一定有人知嘅，叫佢上網去揾費城嗰個稅務審批委員會下揾到㗎啦。
Or your daughter, who is a co-owner of the property with you. Call her and ask her to help you.
嚇，或者你個女咯，你個女係同你一齊㗎嘛，嗰間屋都係佢有佢份嘅，叫佢幫你揾啦，上網。
Okay.
Okay.
All right. Thank
Okay,
you.
thank you so much.
Okay.
Thank you.
All righty. That matter is resolved. Mr. Johnson, interpreter, thank you very much. You excuse.
Okay, thank you.
The
Thank you.
witnesses for this matter are excused. Mr. Davis, Ms. Smith, you excuse.
嚇，講完啦，
Mr.
可以走啦，婆婆。
Okay,
Mr. Johnson.
Good afternoon, board. I had the chance to talk to one of the people who was present on the call, and we've reached an agreement in resolution of case number 42 on the list.
42, just one moment.
Yeah, it's HA 2023-004753-263 East Queen Lane.
Okay, what's the resolution?
The resolution, and both Mr. Jared Holland and Mr. Jerome Henry appeared here on the call. They should be here right now. City affirmed with a 90-day stay of enforcement.
City affirmed 90-day stay. Okay. Ready? If Mr. Henry or Mr. Holland are present, just need one of you to confirm that in fact you agree that this is city's correctly stated the agreement.
Yes, sir.
Your name, sir?
Jared Holland.
Okay, thank you very much for that. And so
Thank you.
the city affirmed 90-day stay of enforcement.
Thank you.
Thank you. Have a good afternoon.
And can Inspector Calvin White be dismissed?
Yes, Mr.
If there's no other cases you're a witness for, Inspector White, you can go.
Okay, Mr. Wade, what do we have next?
We have case number.
Okay, thank you.
Case number 37, hearing appeal ending 4705, 1222 West Tucker Street, Tara Gordon.
Okay. All right, who's representing that matter?
Good afternoon, board members. Sean Loeb for the city.
Good afternoon, Mr. Luke. Tara Gordon. Is Tara Gordon present? Or anyone representing 1222 West Tucker Street? Anyone present?
No one in the waiting room under that name.
Okay.
Miss Gordon listed 256 North 9th Street in Darby as her mailing address. Notice of this hearing was sent to 256 North 9th Street in Darby on August 29th.
Okay. Thank you very much. It has been no response. Mr. Luke, what is your preference?
Hearing no one, the city requests that the violation be affirmed for failure to appear.
Okay. Mr. Pincus, what time do you have?
3:58 PM.
3:58 PM. Thank you. Well, we will poll the board on HA 2023-004706-705. 1222 West Tucker Street, Tara Gordon. City affirmed, non-appearance.
City affirmed for non-appearance.
City affirmed, non-appearance.
City affirmed for non-appearance.
City affirmed non-appearance.
Okay, thank you very much.
Thank you.
All right. That
So-
matter is resolved.
So that we have 3 matters left. Case number 41, the appellant is here. Cases 48. I believe 51 and 52. I don't believe the appellants are here. If we want to call them so we can dismiss the inspectors and the
Okay, let's do that then.
case number 48. Hearing appeal ending 4806, 3208 Turner Street, Ruslan Nikon.
Okay,
Fuyuta representing the city.
okay. Would you confirm service, please, Mr. Wade?
Ruslan Nikon indicated PO Box 51202, Philadelphia, Pennsylvania as his mailing address on his appeal. Notice of this hearing was sent to PO Box 51202, Philadelphia, Pennsylvania on 8/20/8/29.
Is that 2024?
Yes.
Okay, alrighty. No response. Mr. Galuzzo, what is your preference?
As the appellant has failed to appear, the city would request a city affirm for failure to appear.
Okay, Mr. Pincus, what time do you have?
4:00 PM.
Okay. We will now poll the board regarding HA 2023-004806-3208 Turner Street, City affirmed, non-appearance.
City affirmed for non-appearance.
City affirmed, non-appearance.
City affirmed for non-appearance.
City affirmed non-appearance.
Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Okay. Your witnesses are excused. Number 51.
Case number 51, hearing appeal ending 4891, 230 North 53rd Street, Maud Martin.
Okay, more now. Legal counsel is noted as Michael Van
Buskirk.
Yes, Buskirk. Is Mr. Van Buskirk present? It doesn't appear. Okay. Mr. Wade, would you confirm service, please?
Notice of Ms. Martin listed 2783 Roberts Avenue as her mailing address, and Mr. Buskirk listed 6510 Ridge Avenue as his mailing address. Notice of this hearing was sent to Ms. Martin at 2783 Roberts Avenue on August 29th, 2024. Notice of this hearing was sent to Michael Van Buskirk at 6510 Ridge Avenue on 8/29/2024.
Okay. There's been no response. What is your pleasure?
Good afternoon, members of the board. Will Fernandez for the city of Philadelphia. Hearing no response to the call of this appeal, city's request respectfully is that the board dismiss the appeal for failure to appear.
Okay. What time do we have, Mr. Pincus?
4:02 PM.
4:02 PM. We will poll the board on HA 2023-004891, 230 North 53rd Street, Maud Martin, City affirmed, non-appearance.
City affirmed non-appearance.
City affirmed, non-appearance.
City affirmed for non-appearance.
City affirmed non-appearance.
Thank you very much. Okay. Mr. Wade, where does that take us?
Case number 52.
Okay.
Hearing appeal ending 4882, 2558 Memphis Street, Hallie Moss.
It's Christopher Johnson for the city of Philadelphia.
Okay. Would you confirm service, please, Mr. Wade?
No one in the waiting room under that name. Hallie Moss listed 8 Ridgewood Road, Gibbsboro, New Jersey as the mailing address on the appeal form. Notice of this hearing was sent to 8 Ridgeboro Road, Gibbsboro on 8/29/2024.
Okay. There's been no response. So what is the city's pleasure?
The city requests that it be marked as city affirmed for failure to appear.
Okay, thank you. Mr. Pincus, the time
4:03 PM.
for 3 p.m. We will now poll the board regarding HA-2023-004-892-2558 Memphis Street, Haley Moss, City affirmed non-appearance.
City affirmed for non-appearance.
City affirmed non-appearance.
City affirmed for non-appearance.
City affirmed non-appearance.
Thank you very much. Okay, that matter is resolved. Okay,
Final
let's-
matter,
yes.
recall, is case number 41.
Before you read that in, if there were any witnesses that were on the record now, still on the call, on the hearing, you are excused. Those matters we previously stated have been resolved. Okay, number 41, excuse me.
It's Christopher Johnson for the city of Philadelphia. This is case number 41, HA 2023-004751 regarding 6617 Harbison Avenue. Mohammed Idris is the appellant, and the city has one witness in the matter. It's Supervisor Robert Keenan.
Okay, before we do that, thank you, Mr. Johnson. Okay, is Mr. Idris present?
Yes.
He's on 2 devices. One of the devices has to be muted.
Yeah, Mr. Idris, if you would mute one of those devices. Or shut down the phone if you have your laptop on. You're muted. If you could mute or turn off your phone, hang up your phone and use the laptop. You're muted, sir. We can't hear you. We can't hear you.
Can you hear me, sir?
I can hear you now. Would you hang your phone up, please? It's creating echoes.
Turn it off?
Yeah, you can turn it off. You don't need 2 devices.
Yeah, but
Yes.
the volume here, I can't hear you.
You cannot hear us?
I think if he kept it muted, it would be okay.
Well, if you need to, you can turn it on if you need it for volume, but mute it so we don't hear the background, so we don't get the echo.
So should I go in a?
Well, let me ask you, can you hear me okay?
I hear you, but I'm gonna have to ask, I don't hear you good.
Okay, so if you need your telephone for purposes of being able to hear us clearly, turn it on, but mute it so it doesn't interfere with the communication.
But I hung up.
Well, I mean, redial. Go ahead and do it, Jack.
Chairman,
Yes.
it appears Board Member Washington has returned. I do have to step away now, though.
Okay. All right. Thank you.
Thank you, sir.
Okay. All right, Mr. Washington, we acknowledge your presence. You're back with us. Okay, Mr. Idris, we need to begin. Mr. Johnson, do you have any witnesses for today?
Yes, the city is going to call Supervisor Robert Keenan.
Okay. Mr. Keenan, would you raise your right hand so that you may be sworn? Okay, do you swear or affirm the testimony you give today be the truth so help you God?
I swear. Yes.
Okay, Mr. Idris, I hadn't called on you yet. Okay, so Mr. Keenan responded in the affirmative. Okay, Mr. Idris, if you raise your right hand as well, sir. Do you swear or affirm the testimony you give today be the truth to help you God?
I do.
Thank you very much. You can place your hand down. Okay, Mr. Johnson, let's begin.
We're here today on a violation notice related to the property at 6617 Harbison Avenue in Philadelphia. Supervisor Keenan, can you please state your name and your title with the department for the record?
My name is Robert Keenan. I'm Supervisor, Construction Compliance Division, CIU.
And what does your job entail?
I supervise the inspectors that handle all the complaints that are listed throughout the city as to do with construction.
And how long have you been an inspector at L&I?
For over 12 years now.
Are you familiar with the property at 6617 Harbison Avenue?
I am.
And have you had a chance to review the department's records with regard to 6617 Harbison Avenue?
I have.
I'm going to share my screen at this point with the board's permission.
Yes.
I'm sharing a document that is marked as City Exhibit C1. It's a packet of documents. Can you tell us, Supervisor, what page 1 is?
It's the violation notice in order to correct that we issue.
Yeah, what was the violation number?
CF 2023-106-695.
And what led to that violation being issued?
That particular one was due to the fence that was being installed. Violations down below.
Was there an inspection? Was there an inspection that occurred?
Yeah, on 10/12/2023, there was an investigation done at the property that found the following conditions.
And what were the violations that were indicated on the notice?
One was the garage door was replaced with an entry door and required a permit. And then the fence is over 4 feet high. It's over 50% opaque. And there is a permit, the zoning permit that would be required for that, as well as a building permit.
And I'm going to move down to City Exhibit C1 at page 3. Can you tell us what the image at C3 at page 3 shows?
It shows a fence. It's approximately almost 6 foot in height, over 4 feet in height. It's also 100% solid, not 50% opaque as we require. And it's a corner lot, which is a problem because there's a slight triangle that's required with that requires a zoning permit.
And just so that we're clear in the record, why does the city require that there be no opaque fences in the line of sight on a corner like that?
That's so that, well, one is for emergency personnel to be able to see the address and the property. And one of it is when you come to a corner at that location, the corner, you can't see somebody coming out of the end. That's why it has to be set back. Oncoming traffic on Harbison Avenue wouldn't see somebody coming out of the driveway there.
And when was the photograph taken?
On October 12th, 2023.
I'm showing on the screen now what's marked as page 4 of the exhibit. Can you tell us what page 4 shows?
Well, it shows that they sealed the garage door. They took that off, put a new doorway in, a new air conditioning unit, and a window, and also bricked in the existing garage door area. And the garage was the storage place for the vehicle, not the driveway is the egress part for that. And on the wall here, it looks like on the wall, it looks like
okay,
3 electrical panels.
Is there one meter missing?
Yes.
Are you aware how many units are authorized within that property?
Yes, I'm sorry, I am. I think it, geez, what happened? I had it up on my screen, I'm sorry. At this time now, I can't remember
Okay.
if it was one or two.
All right. If you could have a chance to check your records to refresh your recollection, would that help?
Yes, that would help.
Can you do that for me now?
Yes.
With regard to the zoning, how many units are authorized in the building? If you don't know, that's fine. It's not relevant to the violations per se, so I'm going to move on. I'm going to withdraw that question.
Okay.
How about
Excuse me,
next
Mr. Chair.
page 5?
Yeah, wait, just one moment, Mr. Johnson. Yeah, Mr. Tennant?
Yeah, can you give me 2 minutes? I have to power up. My battery's dying on me, so I'll be off screen for a minute.
Okay,
Thank
just
you.
one moment. We just need to go off the record for about 2 minutes to allow Mr. Tennant to rejoin us and be part of the deliberation. Just give us a moment.
Thank you, sir. I'm back.
Okay, we're now back on the record. Okay. All right, Mr. Johnson.
Thank you. Supervisor Keenan, I'm showing what's marked as page 5. What does page 5 show?
Page 5 is showing the front door entrance of with the address listed on the door. It's showing the fence. It's on top of a wall. It's out in front of the property and along the side of the staircase, they put a fence.
And those pictures were they from the original inspection on October 12th, 2023?
Yes, they were.
And at page 6, what's the document at page 6?
The final notice of violation that the city supplies after we give a certain amount of time to correct the actions.
And what was the date on the file notice?
3/14/2024.
So at that point in time, which violations remain?
The garage door and the fences have not been changed as of that date.
Okay. And finally, I'm going to stop sharing the exhibits now. I'm going to ask you, have you had a chance to review the department's records with regard to the permit history at that property?
Yes.
So which violations have been complied?
The fence is still in place. So I don't have any that were complied to this date I'm aware of.
So were there any permits obtained?
There wasn't a permit that was completed for I'm sorry, for a I'm not even sure what this was for. It was kind of vague. And throughout the basement for the attached structure for a two-family house as per plans, it was a for the interior work for the basement garage, but they never got zoning for that.
Now, did they? Now, what was the date of that permit?
That was April 18th, 2022.
So those were permits that predated the violation. Is that right?
Yes. Yeah.
So as we sit here now, the violations in question are still open in the system.
Correct.
And no new permits have been obtained.
Correct.
Okay. So what would they have to do to comply at this point?
They'd have to get the approved zoning permit for the occupied space there. And they have to get the fence permit, I'm sorry.
Okay. And would it be okay if, say, they replace the fence with a chain link fence?
Yeah, that would be fine. That would meet the code requirements, as long as it was under 4 feet in height in that corner. The rear of the property can have a 6-foot fence, but it has to be set back out of the site triangle.
And any fence that would be within the site triangle has to be more than 50%.
Yes, sir.
See-through.
Yes, sir.
For lack of a better word. Is that right?
Yes, sir.
Okay. I'm going to ask that Exhibit C1 be admitted to the record at this time.
So admitted.
Just one more thing for the inspector. The removal of the garage door, is this a typical violation that you've seen in the city?
Yeah, more frequently, yes.
And in order to comply that type of violation, what's the first step in the process?
A zoning permit. So that's why I say that old permit's very vague, because it says renovation of the basement. But what happens is they convert the basement into living space, and now they sealed the garage door, which was the storage area for the garage was the storage area for the vehicle, and it's not anymore. The parking space in the back is just an egress to the garage. Now they don't have a parking for the legal parking anyhow for the garage.
And if you could just refresh me, do they have a zoning permit for a two-family dwelling for that?
Not that I see. Not that I see.
Okay.
But they've applied for permits in the past that says it's two-family.
All right. So it may be a two-family, but either way, they need a zoning permit to remove the garage door.
Correct.
Okay. And a building permit.
Yeah. And most of the buildings would have had 2 garages if it was a duplex originally.
Mm-hmm.
We don't see that in this case.
Okay. I have no further questions for the inspector.
Okay, thank you very much. Mr. Idris, do you have any questions for the inspector based on his testimony? Keep in mind that you may present your case in a few minutes, but do you have any cross-examination questions?
If he have okay, the building permits that's issued on.
Now, Mr. Idris, I'm asking you, do you have any questions for the inspector based on his testimony? You can present your case in a moment, but in the meantime, do you have any questions?
What he said?
I'm asking you, do you have any questions of the inspector based on his testimony? Okay, thank you. Mr. Johnson, do you have any additional witnesses?
No, the city rests.
Okay, thank you. Okay, Mr. Idris, now your opportunity to present your case. What is it you want to share with us?
I have hired a contractor who worked on the basement and gave me the pass he issued all the permits.
Do you have permits for the work that was done?
Yes, and I have the pass.
Okay, I'm not sure what that means. Do you have a number for the permit that was issued for the work
Oh, yeah.
and the
Okay.
date?
2022-001737.
Okay, and what is that a permit for?
That's permits for everything that worked on.
No, that's not. I need you to tell me specifically what does it say? What is it a permit for?
It says initial site inspection, interior framing inspection, insulation inspection.
No. What is it a permit for? There should be a section that describes the work. What work was being done with that permit?
Residential building permits.
Yes, for what? What are you building?
Okay, for construction alteration throughout basement of an existing attached structure for a 2-family household living as bare plans.
Okay. All right. Before we go any further, Mr. Johnson, I guess we just need some clarity here in terms of whatever permits were issued at that time and whether Mr. Idris plans in 2022 included that entryway.
And you know, I'm not in possession. Well, actually,
I am.
I think I have the plans right here. If you want me to show them on the screen.
Yes, if you could, if that would help us understand what we're talking about.
Mr. Chair, can I ask Mr. Johnson, does he also have the permit that the gentleman was referencing, Mr. Idris?
The permit
put up on the
document?
screen?
Hold on.
Yes, that he could put on the screen.
Mr. Tennant, Mr. Chairman, I happen to have up on my screen the property address in the LNI file. And there is a permit, as Mr. Idris has read, RP-2022-001-737, issued on April 18th, 2022, for the construction/alterations throughout basement of an existing attached structure for a 2-family household living as per plans. No underpinning. Separate permits are required for plumbing, mechanical, or electrical work.
I'm about to show my screen.
Okay,
because it's
do that,
very
please. Yeah.
Illuminating.
Yes, please do that.
It also says no zoning documents.
So, hold on, let me come back. I'm sharing my screen right now. And on that permit, there are approved plans. And can the board see the plans?
Yes. Do you have anybody who's prepared to walk through those plans?
I'm gonna call Mr. Keenan.
If you could make them focus in a little bit, because
I'm about
yeah.
to do that.
Okay.
If I can figure it out. Hold on. And I'm going to focus in on where it says basement laundry.
Yes.
Mr. Keenan, can you view these plans?
I can. Up at the top, if you scroll up a little higher, he has a new wall, 2x4 wall, where it shows the first. I'm sorry. Can you raise this up to this where it says detail new wall section?
Is that's on the right?
It's right here, 4A1. You can just scroll straight up
Okay.
this area here. As mentioned before, this is the permit that I mentioned in my testimony. This is showing a new wall that was reframed out. And this is the stucco wall that's, if you look at the bottom, it's showing a 8-inch CMU wall with a window and a steel. Now, as I scroll down, that's section 4A1. If I scroll down back to where the plan is of work performed
For the basement, like down here?
Yes. That should be illustrated. Now I see it here, but this here, where the washer dryer is, your question was about where the washer dryer location was?
Well, no, that's the basement laundry. This is the basement. My question is, because I think where you had talked about the driveway in the rear of the building,
Yeah.
where the cursor is right now, I think the part, wouldn't the garage door be there?
Yeah, well, this is where he marked. That's what I was trying to get to. This area here, where he marked 4A01, actually has that detail in there of A41. They don't have a zoning permit for that, though. They only had a building permit, and it was approved.
So what you're saying is, is it possible that the plans examiner was wrong in approving the permit?
It is, because you should have a zoning permit to go with this, and he doesn't. But I see where Mr. Muhammad Idris is noting on the plan here, 4A1, and if you see this little thing where the arrow is pointing here, it shows A41. He has it called as a home office. And he eliminated the garage. Now, if that's a change of use from storage to business, you would need a zoning permit. We don't have that.
So, Mr. Keenan, what you're saying is that he converted the garage into what you would call occupied space instead of parking space. Thank you.
Yes, sir.
Okay. So, Mr. Idris, because this is his testimony, his presentation. Ms. Idris, in addition to that, the fence itself, did you get permits for the fence?
No, I did not get permit for the fence, and I know I just on the fence, I just matched my neighbor. You know, if you have a look from the street for the two houses,
I happen to have a picture.
Say that again, sir.
I happen to have a picture, if you would like me to show it, of the current, what it looks like.
Yes, sir.
So, the board, I'm going to share the screen. This is the Cyclomedia photograph taken on September 20th, 2024 for this property. This is 6617 Harbison. This is the fence in question. And just a question for Mr. Idris, if I may. This is a driveway that comes out where these cars are?
Yes.
Okay. So there's a driveway in front of this silver van?
Yes.
And are you referring to the other white fence that you were trying to match?
Yes, exactly. And where the sign there's the same corner on the where on his fence, the other side also is a corner. I didn't know, and I was trying to get a permit to work outside, change the grass, and they said no, you don't need permit for that. So I did take my grass and I just matched the other fence. That's all I did. But I mean, I go with permits. I've never did something out of the way. But I asking the board that I'll be fine if you just let me go with, the same view on the street.
Well, the issue, sir, is that the neighbor behind you may also be in violation. We don't know that. They may be having to deal with their fence as well, depending on whether or not there was a separate violation written. But okay, anything else you want to add, Mr. Idris? Your testimony thus far is that you believe the permits that you had in 2022 provided with sufficient approval to do the rear wall.
Yes, and
okay.
I have one here that says all my work is passed.
Okay, that's understood. We got that part. Okay, thank you.
Thank you.
Okay, Mr. Johnson, any more questions of Mr. Idris? And I will ask my colleagues to join me in a breakout room for a few minutes after you finish.
I have no further questions for Mr. Idris. I would like to make a brief argument, though.
Please.
Okay, so I think what we're left from the testimony and reasonably saying it is clear that he did have a building permit for the work that was performed on the house for that showed that the department had approved the door. However, in order to remove the garage door and put living space in where it used to be a garage, the law requires that he needs to get a zoning permit before that. So what we would argue is that the fence is clearly in violation in that it blocks a line of sight where traffic may be exiting that driveway. And it could be complied by either replacing with a chain link fence or removing the fence altogether. And he should obtain a zoning permit for the new use at the property, which would be a two-family dwelling, no garage. With that, the city would request that it be marked as city affirmed.
Okay, thank you. I invite my colleagues to join me in the breakout room for a few moments. We'll be back shortly. Thank you.